Today's video is brought to you by Assiniboia Downs Gaming and Event Center. Be sure to tune into this channel live Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern for Monday Night Lights, hosted by Trust the Profits.
Hey there, everybody.
What's up, everybody? My name is Colin Sheehan, and my computer's definitely slagging a little bit on us here, so we'll have to figure that out as we get going. I'm going a little bit slow, but that's okay. We are here. I'm Colin Sheehan. That is Jessica Tugwell. We are your co-hosts tonight so far for the live show on Assiniboia Downs. This is our Monday night show. We got plenty of guests joining us throughout the night. I know Sean Patrick Nolan will be dropping in. I hope Trusty doesn't, but he said he's going to. We'll see about him popping by. And we're here to look at Assiniboia Downs. And we have the StableDuel contest tonight. There's a free game and there's a $20 game. Tonight is your last chance in the $20 game to qualify for the Manitoba Derby Day. You just have to finish in the top 5 in that Monday night game. So jump into StableDuel. If you don't play StableDuel, you can hop in and play the free game. There's currently 226 stables. If you want to get a sense of that, we're going to spend our first half hour here looking at the value that you might find tonight in some places to go. But first, I will check in with Jessica. Jessica, how are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Had a little bit of a last-minute handicapping. I had some other stuff I was working on today, but I'm going to hope that means that I didn't overthink it. So hopefully it'll work out for me.
And that's sometimes very easy to do is when you put too much time into it. Love to see everybody in the chat. We love how interactive and how supportive you all are. So please be sure to let us know who you like throughout the night. And first, before we dive into the card, I guess we got to introduce our first guest right out of the bat. And that is our man, Dennis Trusty. What's up, Dennis?
What's going on, everybody? How we doing out there? Glad to be on.
We're doing
this has been long overdue.
I know. I haven't seen you in quite a while, so this is exciting.
Yeah, my face still looks just as ugly as before. But thanks, Colin.
Me as well. Jessica's holding it together for us, so we'll rely on her for that, and we'll rely on you for the picks because you've been on fire as I've been following you on Twitter. Give Trusty a follow. He's doing pretty hot leading into Saratoga. I've been away for 2 weeks. I've been up in Nova Scotia, so I don't know, Trusty. Did you keep that streak going, or did we cool off?
Well, I mean, I hope we keep it going tonight. I took off yesterday because I just had something to do. But Saratoga's been great to me. I mean, I have a smile on my face because of how good it has been. I think over the past 3 days, I gave out a 10-to-1 shot top pick over the whole 3 days each day. So that's pretty good. When you can do that consistently, that's a positive. So hopefully there's one in here tonight at Assiniboia.
Yeah, we'll certainly hope so.
Yeah, let's dive into it because we start off. We're 25 minutes away from the first race. You want to get your stables in if you haven't already, and that's where I'd like to start is in tonight's card. Well, first of all, are you both in the StableDuel game tonight? Let's start there, Jessica.
I'm in the free game as always. I need to win one of these before I can graduate to the paid games.
Nice. Yeah, well, that's true. I'm currently doing my stable right now, so live on camera, ready to figure out the stable.
Perfect.
All right, then we're here to help you out with that. So we will start in. And Jessica, did you have any picks tonight that you would consider sort of a value pick that you built your stable around that maybe is not necessarily one of the favorites, but someone where you have to spend that lower amount of money that you're hoping is going to basically not lose you points?
Yeah, I really liked Shotgun 1 was one that I liked tonight that I thought made a lot of sense at a pretty reasonable price. And then in the fourth race, I thought that Silver Maker made a lot of sense, just the hot horse, even though he's stepping up a little bit in class, that I thought he could get you some points there. And at I don't have the morning line on my things because it gets cut off. That was a 6-to-1. Never mind. That wasn't really that value. I'm so sorry. The morning line is cut off on my
I consider that value.
So, but yeah, those were two of the big ones. Yeah, Shotgun one, and then Guaranteed Delivery was another horse that I thought made a lot of sense to hit the board. And then I took a little bit of a shot in the 7th race with Wit 9, who I thought, if he can get back to last year's form and probably needs more speed, but the trainer stats were too good to ignore on that horse with a 27% third off the layoff and 5 for 10 going sprint to route.
Yeah, and that was a competitive last leg, and we had a key scratch in there. There's not many scratches you get at Assiniboia Downs, but tonight in that race 7, number 7, the 8-5 morning line favorite, where the money went for connections that have been very strong with Ali and Keplin, trainer jockey. The 7 scratch out of race 7. So that is a key scratch, which sets up actually nicely for you using Wit 9, number 4 in that leg. I used a long shot in that leg as well, number 3, Saturday Service. I like the fact this horse is dropping down. Jerry Corneau is usually doing pretty well when he brings horses back really quickly. This horse ran on July 26th. This is an angle that he hits at 31% on turning them around. I also like when horses are going a mile that have shown success at the distance. This horse is 5 for 10 in the money. 3 victories, a second, and 2 thirds. So if you're getting 10-1 with my man SPN's Antonio Whitehall aboard, that was one of the horses that I've tried to build my stable around a little bit. And then I also, this was prior to me seeing Morning Line, I did capping the card this week. It came out on Saturday, and you'll see I talk about number 3, Valid Defense, in the first leg at 6-1. That was a horse that I had not only on my value play, but my top pick. And when I checked just before we came on air, this was the favorite, taking quite a bit of money. Let's see, he's 2-1 right now. Actually, the 4 is even money favorite, but I think you're getting great value on the number 3, Valid Defense, in the first leg of tonight at Assiniboia Downs. So that's a horse you might want to consider putting into your stable as well.
Definitely. That was the horse. Actually, the first thing I did is I decided that this first race, I'm going to use 2 horses who are going to be fairly short odds. I liked Valid Defense, and then I thought I have to come back with Amma Star because he hasn't won for me yet, but at least he's gotten second for me in StableDuel the last 2 times he's run, and makes a ton of sense, fits in this spot. I think I would not be shocked if that horse won, but I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't hit the top 3. So, but yeah, I love your pick there, a Valid Defense in the first race, dropping in for the tag for the first time.
And Todd's with you with Wit 9 in 3rd place in that leg. And in third place in StableDuel is very good.
I would certainly be more than happy with that if he can pull that out for me.
So you can see the steam coming out of Dennis's ears as he's trying to live cap and put his stable together. What do we got, Dennis? Did we find anything?
I'm frantically just quickly looking over stuff. I mean, I would love to win the StableDuel thing. I just, being on here, I just want to be middle of the road. Not bad, not like great. I mean, I want to do great, but as long as I'm middle of the road, I'll be happy. I'll go back through and look after, everything's settled down, really.
We settle for mediocrity.
So, yeah, that's all. Listen. As long as I don't look totally stupid on here. Wait a minute. That came out wrong. Just let me look decent.
Great introduction from Trusty, who just doesn't want to do great and doesn't want to do bad, just wants to be mediocre. So we'll let him work the numbers a little bit more. But it's important for everyone to remember that tonight's your last chance at qualifying for that Manitoba Derby StableDuel game with Manitoba Derby Day next week, I believe. And I should have Googled the actual date, so I had that for you, but I did talk to Bree, and she said this is the last Monday to qualify for that. Matt DeSantis got in last week, and I'm hoping that I save the last week for my chance to qualify. I have been quite cold, at least at getting the money in these stables. I tell everyone if you finish like between 12 and 20, you got Colin, because that is where I just tend to land. How about Jessica? Anybody that you're really comfortable? That's not really necessarily a longer shot tonight. You have some short price morning line favorites Diddley, number 2 in race 2, is 9-5. You had a couple options to go with in race 3. I know All Terrain Jane, the first horse to break my sleepy pick of the night, who is a horse that will live in infamy, is scratched out of race 3, along with the 7 Railroad Dan. So that makes that third leg even tighter as far as where you're going to spend your money. But you have a much better shot now of getting some points in that race. But Jessica, did you find anybody tonight at shorter odds that you have included in your stable? Where'd you spend your money?
Well, I already talked about Amos Star, how I think he's just consistent enough, and he hasn't failed me entirely yet, even though I have a hard time accepting him as the favorite as a straight win pick. For StableDuel, I'll put my faith in him. I liked Drizzy in the second race, and then I thought that Love Hours in the 6 was a horse to just you could feel pretty confident that horse might even get you a double-digit type of length win. Not double-digit length, but, an open length victory. Words
escape us. I agreed with you. I had Love Ours as a horse that I put into my stable as well. The allowance race last time out was a drop that stands out to me. You only had a couple dropping back from allowance. You also, I like, I don't know how crazy I am for liking this angle, but a horse that won twice at the maiden claiming level. So to me, when you win by 6 lengths and you get disqualified, I need to go back and watch that. But then they step up to maiden claiming 10,000 and comes back and wins again. So to me, those were 2 impressive races. I'll excuse the allowance level slip up, losing by 8 lengths at the 7 furlong distance, because this horse had 2 victories at the 5 furlong distance. I'm tired of Miami Souvenirs. I'm going to wait for that horse to beat me. It's one that I continue to put money on. And, the 2 third-place finishes last 2 races wasn't bad. But I'm all set with Miami Souvenirs. And I agreed with you on Guaranteed Delivery, just a horse that continues to give a consistent, honest effort. So I included that horse in my stable as well.
Love Hours is kind of the anti-Wits Rojo, who had the opposite problem where he got beat ahead and got moved up in a maiden claiming race, or apparently after he'd already run back. So they still haven't crossed the wire yet, but they have to face winners. So that's unfortunate for them.
Oh, I kind of zoned out, finished out my stable.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hi. Seriously, though. So just a couple things I noticed is I know we've been having a lot of stakes races from Assiniboia Downs on Monday that we've been showcasing on here. This actually feels like an Assiniboia Downs card, not in a bad way. This is like there's a lot of horses that can get prices, but also how can I say, it feels just natural. This is the type of car that made me like Assiniboia Downs. But one horse that stands out, I don't know if you all talked about it or not, was that Wits Rojo at 20-1. That's a horse that you should include at a small price if you're looking for a filler horse for StableDuel. I think that's a good horse. Has speed and likes the track.
Yeah, that's the horse I was just talking about. That the poor connection.
Oh, perfect timing, man.
Got a little bit of the short end of the stick with that disqualification in a maiden claiming race. But hopefully, has put in some decent races. Needs to step it up, it looks like. But like you said, has speed. So it's a solid value pick. You certainly won't be spending a lot of money on the horse.
Yeah.
Certainly has improved.
Yeah, and you got your
Assiniboia from Lone Star.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen a lot of those horses shipping in, having a lot of success early in the year. This up at Assiniboia Downs, the 8 there, Hasta La Vista Honey, is your favorite with Antonio Whitehall and Jerry Gourneau. I like the cutback. I like I said earlier about Gourneau coming back 1 to 5 days. A little bit of a concern here though is when this horse loses, he loses kind of big. And when you're playing StableDuel, that's a risk that I'm a little bit hesitant to take on a 9 to 5. lost last time that wasn't an allowance level by 15 lengths, but 3 back at a claiming 5,000 level lost by 13 lengths. And so those loss of lengths is what scares me away on taking a 9-5 shot in a game like StableDuel, when not only you're trying to find winners, you're also just trying not to lose too bad.
Exactly. Yeah. And that horse has efforts that, like you said, that just don't really work for this. And, absolutely could win the race, is one of the logical horses in the race. But when it comes to a horse at 9-5 on the morning line for StableDuel, that is not what you are looking for. But who does everybody else in the chat, who are y'all thinking for StableDuel? Todd went 1, 2, and 6 in the 4th race, which, that was a really tough one. I liked Looking High and Silvermaker, who I already mentioned in that one. And the 2 makes a ton of sense as well with the drop. So I like that choice to kind of just try and get big points in one race where it makes sense to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, in that 4th race, I just took the 6. So I'm living by Whitehall on this on that race.
Fair enough. That's not a terrible strategy.
Yeah.
Shotty's got a 3-5 box in race 3.
It's like, not to say that these 2 are just so much better, because we've seen so many jockeys step up at this track, but it feels like every night you're just flipping a coin. Whitehall and Carreno. Okay. Oh, it's heads. Okay, that's Carreno. Okay, it's tails. It's Whitehall,
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you just got to pick in the filler spots of who wins what race besides those 2.
I thought you had some favorites that were vulnerable. That if we go back to race 4 there, I went with 1 Looking High. I liked the optional claimer $10,000 levels, where I thought the horse performed pretty well. If you look at 2 House Limit, who's your 6-5 morning line favorite, if this horse gets back to what he was doing last year, then good night, right? This was putting up from a Brisnet speed figure standpoint, 91s, 90s, 89s very consistently. But this year just hasn't been able to get back to that. And when you're looking at an 8-year-old gelding, a little bit of that question creeps into my mind is he past his prime, right? And is he not being to be able to get back to what he did at age 7? This horse has 41 lifetime races, is won over $230,000, and was running, at that optional claimer $15,000, $10,000 level. But again, when you're giving me 6-5, that's when I scare away from a horse like that, House Limit in that leg.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially, the short price on StableDuel. I think the horse definitely makes sense if you're, betting the race straight or to include in horizontals. But from StableDuel perspective, is he the same horse this year is the big question. And I'm with you on Looking High, making that same drop, but has been doing better in those races that he's coming out of than House Limit has as of late.
Yeah, I agree. That horse, it's not a good use for StableDuel. House Limit, if it wins by 8, great. You got lucky, but I wouldn't want to put that much money into that horse, and basically you don't know what you're going to get. And I don't even think it's a class factor. I think it's just some nights the horse shows up and some nights not. So I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we'll just continue forward. Let's go to race 5. I thought that Kate's Princess was a horse that I wanted in my stable. The bad efforts on this horse, on her, 3 back, right, finished 5th place, 6 lengths behind. 6 back, finished 6th place, 7 lengths behind. And then I had a 4th place finish on my past performances. All 3 of those races were from the rail. And I thought that was interesting. And now I know this horse is in the 2-path. And you're thinking, well, that's close as well. But in the 2-path, this horse has won the last 2 times, breaking from post 2. So to me, there was a little bit of just me not wanting to be down in on the rail. A little bit of a concern of, does this horse need the lead? But being inside, I think she's gonna be able to get there. That would be the one that I was a little concerned about spending money on. but I did end up including Kate's Princess on my card. I do love that she's raced 17 times at Assiniboia Downs and has 7 victories in 4 seconds. So a little bit of a horse for the course angle there for me. Did you guys give any interest to Kate's Princess in this leg?
Yeah, I liked that horse a lot, and that's part of why I ended up skipping this race in StableDuel. I thought that Del Vecchio also made a lot of sense, and I thought that they might kind of duel each other, and I didn't want to touch that. So I decided to skip it, but Kate's Princess was also my top pick in that race. Getting a big weight break between the sex allowance and the apprentice jockey could give her a little bit of an edge getting the lead from Del Vecchio.
And for me, Kate's Princess, my biggest concern is the horse won so easy and was heavy favorite and has been favorite, I don't know, like 6, 7 in a row. And Carreño does not stay aboard. That's a little, something's not right with that in my eyes. But who knows? I mean, he does pick up Albie, I guess, who's sitting at 20% right now. But it just seems a little weird. So in that race, I took the favorite, number 7, Del Vecchio, who won kind of impressively last time. Did sit a good trip. Waited for the cue and took off. So I think if that horse can do that again, could be tough tonight. And loves the track as well. 29 starts, 8 wins, 6 seconds, and 4 thirds.
Yeah, you could go multiple angles in this race. I thought it was one of the more intriguing ones on the night. My value pick was the 1 Minoa, just based off the last 3 performances. I'm hoping that the form stays true, whereas you look at number 3, you need a best effort from this horse, I think, to take it down. The number 4 is 0 for 3 on the dirt. The best running for that horse has been done on the synthetic. That's why I crossed that horse out. In the deep last year, the best, this is number 5 with Antonio Whitehall. The best races for this horse came 4th and 5th off the layoff. This horse is entering his fourth race this season. So at 10-1, I thought he was certainly intriguing. And Labrat was even intriguing for me. This would be one of the horses stepping up in class, whereas you have a lot of the other ones dropping down. And he's 7 for 15 in the money at 20-1. Another one I thought was intriguing. And I said the same thing as you, Dennis. Del Vecchio is a horse for the course. 29 races and 18 times in the money. So you could certainly go quite a few different ways there in race number 5.
Yeah, Labrat really is kind of the same angle as Minoa, that perhaps now that they're facing weaker competition to Assiniboia, they're kind of just better horses than they were further south. So I really liked, I was looking at Labrat a little bit, but he wasn't one of my, top picks in there. But
let's check in with the chat. Cindy's checking in from Winnipeg, always likes to join us. She's our local weather woman out in Western Canada. I just spent the last 2 weeks in Eastern Canada, so good evening to you, Cindy. Uncle Sully is putting all his faith in Mr. Sleepy Time pick himself, because I've been on fire in trying to fade horses that have gone on to win recently. Cindy is saying the 3 horse is getting hammered at even money. It is 6-5 right now. That was a Valid Defense, the horse that was my top pick and value pick when it was 6-1 on my show. So from a StableDuel standpoint, you have that advantage of looking at race 1 and knowing where you're getting great value. So you're paying 6-1 and getting a horse that's currently 6-5 is a great information to take into.
So that horse was your pick on Capping the Card, right?
Yeah, Valid Defense number 3.
If you're betting the 3, Colin owes you an apology for making that horse's price go down. Just wanted to make sure that you owe people apologies. Just throwing that out there. Anyways, continue.
Hey, Capping the Card with 90 views this week, just crushing the pools up at Assiniboia Downs.
They're the 90 biggest, highest rollers in the pool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The 90 biggest batters at Assiniboia Downs.
Bobby D, leg 1, looks like he's going exacta 3-1 with the 4-5. And so we haven't really dove into race 1. Maybe now's a good chance to do that, as we've given some value and some top picks. I don't think we purposely skipped over race 1. We just like some horses elsewhere. Although I talked about how I like Valid Defense, and Jessica, you talked about how you like Ama's Star. You have 3 horses here dropping down from the maiden special weight. So those of you that are new to horse racing, dropping from maiden special weight to maiden claiming is considered one of the biggest drops, and you can tell that by looking at your past performances and seeing the MC. So this is a maiden claiming $7,500 race going 6 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up. And you have 3 horses. What I look for is who's dropping down from the maiden special weight, and that's immediately where I started with the 3, 5, and 6. Is that how you guys approach a maiden claimer? I'll start with you, Dennis, or do you just approach it like any other race?
It does vary, but I kind of work backwards. I look at what the horses who have been running for this tag has ran like, so I guess I can kind of compare them to the ones that are dropping. So I guess I work backwards in a sense, but to get to the same goal, for sure.
How about you, Jessica? Is that an angle that you pay attention to in a race like this?
Oh, absolutely. It's like one of the first things I'm looking at. I, go through, just get a general feel for what each horse is doing. But then one of those big things, you're looking for. And that's why I also, I ended up 3, 4, 5 in here as my top 3, just because of that big drop that Valid Defense is making. And GB's Turbo also made a ton of sense in here. But I wondered how much pace that horse was going to get after coming from well off of it, kind of uncharacteristically off it last time. So I don't know what that one's plan is for today.
What I liked about the 3 is not only the drop down. So I kind of start there, and it's okay. I got 3 horses now that have dropped down. Let's see what we see when we look at them. Now, the 4 Amistar, what popped out to me was, does this, we kind of talk about horses that don't know how to win. They don't know their job to pass horses. And this is one of those ones where you see she kind of gets close and hangs out and doesn't know how to finish the job. Whereas if you look at the 3, look at the comments. And this is something that I really pay attention to in these maiden claimers. You're going 6 furlongs, finished well, rallied, even rally, saved ground, and a mild gain. So I know you're seeing 4th and 5th place finishes on there. But at least I know this horse is going to be finishing well and be closing. And I don't know that I can really say that about many others in here. And also from a speed standpoint, just looking at Brisnet's speed figures, this horse has continued to increase. Every single race has been an improvement. Now, albeit it's a small improvement, it's going the right way. And so when I saw the horse at 6-1, I thought that this was a really easy almost selection for me with a jockey trainer combo that's hitting at 18%. With Wendy Anderson and Fraser Albee. Is that how we say it, or Abley? I'm not sure. I should know.
I think Abley, but I have not heard anybody else say it before. So
we'll have to tune in. Hopefully our announcers will give us a little hint. We'll take a look at the post parade as we are able to show you the Assiniboia Downs feed. Jump on asdowns.com. They have a player portal. Not only do you get free past performances, they also give you the free charting horse value from Jeff on Twitter. He does a great job putting his products together. Capping the Card is where you'll find our show for here from Trust the Profits. But they do it right. They give you the tools to come in and watch a show like this tonight without having to really invest any money. Then you jump into a free StableDuel game, and you're already through your Monday of the week before you even know it, without even costing you $1. So they do it right, and we are here to support them, and they support us. So as we look through the post-parade, Dennis, now we got to turn our heads to some parimutuel betting. Where would you tell folks to focus spending their money parimutually here on this race?
For me, I'm more of a value person. Like I said earlier in the show, I was hitting big prices at Saratoga this week, but that's besides the point. The only horse I see right now that has value is the 5, just because 5-1 from 9-5 morning line. Not only that, is making the same drop as the 3, has speed to compete with the 4. So maybe outduels the 4 and has the same class as the 3. So I think the 5 is the bet right now, but I guess it would have to be 5 with 3, 4, and maybe 6 if you're playing like a Zactor or something, or key boxing those, something like that.
Now, if your horse is now sure the 5 is your value because of odds, but then you have to balance how much you actually like the horse over the 3 and the 4, right?
Yeah. Well, and two, it's not even the fact that I liking that much over the 3 and the 4. I think they're about the same. I think they're pretty close, especially with speed figures. They're similar, and if I think they're similar, I would rather take the 5. So, and actually, I'm looking at the exactas, and they're playing pretty average. Not what I really wanted with the 5, you know. So I think I'm just going to bet him to win place then, I guess.
On the 5.
Yeah. Yep.
Well
GB's
done.
Turbo.
Jessica, would you have any suggestions on how our viewers would play this race pari-mutually?
By passing it.
Yeah.
I really don't think there's a whole lot of value to be had here. I think the 3 and the 4 are kind of going to go 1-2 in that order. I don't think the 4 wins this race. I think that's honestly a horse you could key in second. For $5, you could do it all over the 4 exacta if you want to try and get cute with it. Just because this horse, I don't see him winning. As you know, he's not going to find something new as a 5-year-old, but also he's going to be right there at the finish.
I'm confident in my 3 valid defense, and what I do in these types of situations, you either have to take a stand and maybe, like you said, just go 3-4 straight, and you're getting 6-1 plus 600 for all your sports bettors out there. Or you look at someone like Cindy here who says, watch out for 1 Keystone Cash. I'm getting 22-1 if I go valid defense over Keystone Cash. Maybe you play it a little bit like that. But for me, this would be a race where you absolutely don't box. You just go straight. And if you got a strong opinion, you play that. So I would be going valid defense over probably over. I don't know. I got to look. I'm not actually playing it myself.
But I was over 145.
Yeah,
I think
that works.
If it does chalk out, what does that pay? That would be my one consideration with that.
3-4 would pay $6, so you cover your bet at least. But if you're going to play the 3-4, you want to hammer that more. So if you're going to do something like 3 over the 145, you do 3 over the 1.5 for say $2, and then you go 3-4 for $7 or $8. And that's how you kind of avoid that, and that's where you're doing math on figuring out what is your best pot, which is why I encourage everyone to use the probables and the payouts in your. In this case, I use the TVG probables, and that'll tell you exactly what you're going to get on a bet like an exacta and a bet like a daily double as well. So if you really like a horse like I do, like valid defense, you got to maybe look at that double as where you can maybe make your money off of a horse like valid defense in a race number 2 that we had already talked about having a few different opinions on. So that's another way to play it. Let us know where you are going. It looks like, Todd, are you just going straight ice cold pick 3, 3, 4, 5? If so, I love that play, not only because of the numbers, just because you're going ice cold, just right up. Basil, don't worry for being late. Glad you made it. And Greg likes the 1 and 2 as well. So we got some chatter in the chat for the 1 here in this first leg. And we are approaching the gate. So we'll bring up the stream for you as we do here on Monday nights with the Assiniboia Downs. We will keep up to date on StableDuel. So let us know if you're in the free game or if you're in the $20 game tonight. And we'll be doing updates throughout the night on that as well. Any last minute thoughts?
My one consideration with Keystone Cash would be just that he keeps getting beaten by Amos Star, which, as far as I'm not sure what's different for him today, unless it's just the fact that, honestly, the only angle I can really go with there is actually a pedigree angle, just because the Nonios babies seem to want to race. They get a lot better with the more races they have. He's dismal first and second time out. So maybe this horse, he is a 3-year-old, so maybe he's getting better, but I have a hard time turning the...
Broke poorly 4 out of 5 races, so you could play that angle as well if the horse breaks well. I love Onyx, who just drops in and says, watch out for number 2, 25 to 1. Give us a reason, Onyx. Want to hear why we should watch out, what you're seeing. Would love to know, because I have a feeling that this horse is going to win now, because this is what happens on this show. We had people like, I'm trying to think of the first one that dropped in and just dropped in a 50 to 1 on the lounge the very first night. But we're going to give it over now to the announcers for race 1 at Assiniboia Downs here on Trust the Profits.
The current 6-5 favorite, I'm a Star. Walks right in. 2 left to load. GB's Turbo. Now just waiting on Pay It Forward to the outside. The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off. From the inside, Royal Commando showing some early speed with GB's Turbo in between horses. 3 wide, Pay It Forward. Sitting right behind them, Ama's Star. And then another length back to Keystone Cash and Valid Defense. A 3-way battle on the front through an opening quarter of 23-1. Now taking over Ama's Star to the outside. Back to second, GB's Turbo. Pay It Forward, faded back to third. Moving up the rail, Keystone Cash. And it's Valid Defense and Royal Commando, the trailer. They hit the half mile, 46-3, and hitting the head of the lane, Ama's Star with a short lead. Valid Defense on the outside with the biggest strides, and Valid Defense now takes over. Back to second, Ama's Star and GB's Turbo, a 16th of a mile to go, and it's going to be Valid Defense getting the win. Second best, Ama's Star. Third's going to go to GB's Turbo, and fourth, Keystone Cash.
Well, that turned out logical.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If you played that 3-4 straight, or however you played it, I'm just happy to have called for Valid Defense, because my first fill-in, first race for Captain the Card, I'm 1 for 1. So no matter what, I got that over. I got that over Matt DeSantis for all the shows that he did. And big shoes to fill. It's big shoes to fill when you take on a show for someone that's had so much success in trying to get that first show in. So that one runs form full, actually goes off 4 to 5. So a StableDuel we talked about, you get a horse at 6 to 1 who goes off 4 to 5, and you can see that prior to the first leg. That is important information, and that's going to be a great start. Yeah. For those of you that included Valid Defense in your stables.
Yeah, no excuse for my horse. I like the way the horse broke. Once got challenged by the 5 horse did. I was in trouble, and it went downhill from there. Came out the track, I guess, with all of you all. So
and Ama's Star did exactly what we said. Just had an easy. I don't know if it was easily. It was 23-2, so 46 halves, probably a little aggressive, but this horse just gets to the front and then is like, oh, now what do I do?
Exactly. Where'd everybody go?
Yeah. Oh, there they are. And then by the time she looks and sees them, she's been passed. And Valid Defense was a horse who I told you has just on those comment lines, finishing well, rallied, even rally, mild game. And not only did Valid Defense was last in the backstretch, looped around the outside of those horses. It came down the middle of the track. So certainly an angle we've talked about here on this show many, many times is how good can they take the turn coming down the stretch. And Valid Defense just went wide and was much, I'd say much the best. I mean, only won by maybe a length, but was never really in question there.
Yeah, definitely. I think much the best is a fair to say.
So we are off and running.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Shoddy. That is a great way to start StableDuel for me as well. Whoops, I might have just clicked that again.
Yeah, it's being sluggish, being quite sluggish for me as well. And Todd, don't forget Todd, who went ice cold with his pick 3, going 3, 4, 5. So
got the 4 in here. Interesting.
He quickly
If only
moves
that was a
on to Mr.
trifecta,
Walsh.
not a pick 3. If only that was a trifecta, not a pick
Oh
3.
yeah,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, I'll be curious just to see what that like the try and super pay, because it was really, you could have cold decked that without too much creativity.
Well, it's interesting too. It's going to be really interesting to see how much that trifecta pays, because the pools was so close between the exacta and trifecta.
Yeah, as far as the horses being bet fairly evenly in the gotcha underneath. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if more people played it one way or the other. Maybe we'll get a little lucky.
And we had talked about, when we're looking at maiden claiming levels as well, horses dropping down from the maiden special weight ranks. And that was exactly what you got with the 3 and the 5. And you had talked about, Trusty, how you look at it first is not necessarily that first, but more how the horses run. So a little bit of combination of those two is how we got to 3, 4, 5. So we'll wrap this up here by bringing in the payouts. As we were talking about, the 20-cent try is $2.32. $1 try, which is what we're probably more accustomed to here, pays out $11.60. Your exacta fell under. We were talking about being plus 600, ends up going off plus 5.30, so $5.30 for your $1 exacta here in race 1 at Assiniboia Downs.
Yeah, honestly, that dollar exacta isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
5 to 1, essentially.
Especially for those, I talk with people that do sports betting, and when they talk about the odds that they're getting on a game of like plus 110 and plus 120, and to them that's just normal, and to me that's wild, so when you can come here and find something a little more logical, like you just said, that was pretty easy to get to. You had even said it prior to the race, just go 3, 4 straight, and you're getting plus 530. So I think a lot of times in a horse racing standpoint, we think of $5.30 for an exact as boo on the payouts, as Todd says. When you compare it to maybe what you're getting in something like sports betting, I think that's a great place to attack. But then again, you have to attack it, and I'm not dropping $100 on straight exactas at Assiniboia Downs on a Monday night.
No.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you're like me, you're just like I'm gonna throw $20 at the track tonight. Where can I drop $2 here and there? That's a great little just all right,
So moving on to the next race, and this is no disrespect to Assiniboia Downs. How fast can I get up to Assiniboia Downs?
Why is that?
Well, this race is claiming 3,000 who haven't won since January 31st. I'm figuring if I get to be a late entry, I might get a check. I might get like 4th or 5th and get a piece of the purse money. Might also be claimed for 3,000. I don't know.
You think someone would pay 3,000 for you?
No, but I don't know.
You want to find out? You want to find out? That's a good point. You get a little bit of a rough here, but I thought this was the race I was talking about where you have some of the older horses, and I love to ask you guys what you do when you see an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old in a race, in a claiming $3,000 race. The 8-year-old of number 5, Drizzy, who's shown early speed. I'm trying to find my notes. So I'm relying, here's what I wrote down. If you're betting on the 5, you're relying on him getting back to last year, has the back class, and is 4th off the layoff. And then my red letter note was 8-year-olds always concern me, as we exactly talked about later in the card, of a horse that had shown much success as a 7-year-old, but hasn't shown it as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I liked that horse for that reason. I thought that it seemed to me like they came back this year and they thought, we had 2 wins last year. Let's step up. And they tried him and he ran 3rd. So they came back a couple times at the $4,000 level. And now they've realized, hey, we have an 8-year-old. He was winning for 3,500 last year. Let's put him in here in this time restricted spot and get the win and move on. So that was kind of my my take on like what's going on with the 5 and why I liked him in this spot.
Yeah. And look, I just bagged on this field just to be funny. In actuality, there's some hard knocking horses here. So in this field of 6, they have 49 wins combined, and that averages out to about 8 wins per horse, which that's pretty tough for any track, really. So I'm just looking through this group. I really like the 5. If the 5 can get back to, like you all said, last year's form, I think the 5's got a really good shot to do so. And look, rounded the year off last year with 2 wins. And like you said, hasn't been as good at 8, which that happens. He could come back in form tonight. I would be interested though, as we progress through this race. Is there any other price horses that we like?
I liked the 6. The 6 rebounder, I believe, was my value play. I originally was on 3 Herbie, and then I crossed it out when I did my show, and I switched to number 6 rebounder, trained by Deborah Hansen. And what I liked about this horse mostly was trainer angles. This trainer's hitting at 39% in sprints, 38% in dirt starts. And the races this year haven't been improved from a speed figure standpoint. So I was looking strictly at speed figures, 54, 65, and then a 72, which absolutely puts this horse right in that company. I don't know that the horse is coming over from CPW. I haven't seen a lot of the Tuesday, Wednesday nights, but on the Mondays, I know that angle hasn't always been as hot as some of the others shipping in. But what we need is a pro here who's given out 25-1 shots on my Twitter this weekend. Mr. Sean
great.
Patrick Nolan. What's happening, Sean?
Hey guys, how are you?
There we go. I lost him. You there?
He's here.
I'm here. I'm here.
Maybe
doing
we
good
lost
tonight.
you.
Did we lose you?
I
No.
think we're all here.
I got you. I got you, Sean.
And we're glad
There
that
you
you're
go.
here with us,
How you
Sean.
doing, buddy? Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to Monday in Assiniboia.
All happy to be here.
I got all my
It's
my
not a
turf
Monday
weight
without our
picks
friend
and my
Sean. So
Angelo
Sean,
picks. Oh, that's Dennis. Sorry. Wrong show.
you cover
Wrong
Woodbine.
show.
You stick to Woodbine in Saratoga.
That's right. That's right. Hi guys, how are you?
Sean, how are we doing tonight? What are we looking at in race 2? We've tried to talk about race 2.
Yeah, race 2. Yeah, I looked at this race and I had like 4 horses at one point, but I ended up on Drizzy with Jared Brown and Carreno. I just like the fact that this horse, I just like solid. So that when you're looking at this type of group, you're looking for horses that at least run solid. And this horse has run 3 solid races. Carreno sticks on them for Jared Brown. I just think this horse can be the of this group is kind of one that goes up and down like a yo-yo, and this horse is kind of the consistent of them. So that was my first pick was number 5, and I was 5-4-2 with Herbie as the upset special for 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Thanks, Tony. Todd.
Yeah. So
Joe?
basically, we're all on the 5, right? I mean, if I'm hearing this right. Okay. Listen, the 5 is currently at 3-1. We all hate the 5. The 5 might run last. Keep him up at 3-1. He might run last.
Yeah, I thought the 4 was kind of interesting. And that was, the 6. That's a great point, Cindy. About half of those good finishes are on and off track. And that I think it's Chippewa Downs. Is that what CPW is?
Yeah.
I can't trust that form. And I don't know how much I even trust the figures coming off of tracks like those. Sometimes it feels like in handicapping that it seems like those smaller tracks sometimes get slightly inflated figures. and they end up not running back to those figures when they come to Assiniboia. And that one race at Assiniboia did get bumped between horses at the break, so you can probably toss that effort, but didn't show a thing that day, which is a little bit concerning.
Yeah, it's the same with the Century Mile horses. Sometimes their numbers can be a little bit inflated versus what the actual,
Yeah, exactly. I've made that mistake a few times now, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting wise to you here, Assiniboia.
So since we all like the 5 too, I mean, I just got to point this out. We should call El Hombre, tell him to not do his betting bankroll like for this week or next week, and claim Drizzy. I mean, it's $3,000 claim. I mean,
we all
it's
pull
gonna take
together.
a while to make that money back, though.
No,
yeah, exactly. Running in Assiniboia, he's made almost 150 grand, but he's done it the hard way over probably 6 years of racing.
I know
that's true.
And 3 Charles B likes Herbie. I know someone else. Sean, you mentioned he was your upset special, right?
Yeah, like fourth cycle. It seems like, at least to his credit, I mean, he grabs Whitehall, and at least he seems like, obviously the second effort was a little disappointing, but at least he's starting to kind of figure the track a little bit, at least, and versus this group, it doesn't take much to improve. So at least his third time out was, it was a good one. So I mean, he could go forward, Yeah.
I definitely like that 3 as well. Like you said, kind of figuring out the track, but not only that, the first start at the track was 5.5 and had the 1 post. That's a little tricky. And then they took the horse 2 turns because, I don't know, I guess the horse has just won some more distance, I guess they thought, and then turned around, put the horse back in 6 furlongs. That was 1 turn, and he performed better. So, yeah, I like the 3 as like an upset type of horse, but
sure.
And
right now, I mean, Ryan Desjardins 1 for 27. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He just, his horses are, I mean, they're seeing the board, but they're just not winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's not I mean, that's a tough kind of pick at 9 to 5 on a trainer. But hey, we've seen that time and time again where the trainers up there can get off the schneid quickly. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you all kind of thought about the 2, because he was a horse who, like, at first glance, just glancing through the race, I was like, oh, this horse makes a lot of sense. And then the closer I looked, the less I liked him. With those last 2 efforts, they were against tougher, but he didn't do a whole lot of running. And you start to wonder if it's, is he just 9 now? And he ran a 70 first off, but even that's lower than what he was running last year. So... yeah, he was a horse who I thought was tough to trust at 8 to 5 right now.
Yeah, I remember Wesley Ward bred that horse. Yeah, exactly.
and it's funny you say like Wesley Ward bred that horse. If you look back to December, I know it's a long time ago, but December of 2021, the horse was showing speed. Even in April, showed speed. And one thing I noticed when horses tend to get older, some of them lose their speed edge. And when they do that, they're not as good because they're not doing what they was, I guess, trained to do, since Wesley Ward's a speed type of trainer. So maybe the 2 has lost a bit of a step.
Yeah, that's a good point about like the horses getting older. And a lot of times you'll see them kind of lose their speed. And sometimes that's for the better with some horses, but for others, sometimes it's not. And Diddley might be close to the pace in here, but I thought that maybe the 4, if the 4 gets the lead, I think the 4 wins. He seems to be a horse who, if you let him go, he'll get brave.
Yeah.
But I'm not certain. I mean, I think the 2 or the 5 could, and even the 3 could choose to press him. But if they choose not to, that horse is interesting.
Now, and Jess, I know you're a pedigree, like top class pedigree
expert.
person.
Expert.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even want to say expert. I think expert's just embarrassing to that. I think she's very high class of that. So
Yes.
why has the 4 not been on turf, but twice?
Probably because none of the cheap tracks have turf tracks,
Yeah.
and he's not fast enough to run on turf.
Well, maybe tonight the horse could just like hop over the rail and just try it. Maybe like it a little bit better. No,
I will say this in the 4's defense. If Rail Splitter or Exchequer were in this race, they'd be 1-5. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Or
this
1
is
to
absolutely
9.
true.
That is definitely the truth. You know,
Yes.
so he's been knocking some tough horses.
Yeah, I'd say any of the 6 horses that have beat him last time out would be
1
odds
to
on in
5.
here.
Yeah.
and it's really funny too. I guess that since I'm bringing that up, we got a optimizer who's got English Channel with his Kitten's Joy that tried 2 times on the turf, and right next to it is an 8-year-old that is an English Channel that has tried the turf 4 times, and neither one of them has won. That's very, very funny.
It shows you pedigree isn't always everything.
No.
One piece of the puzzle, as they like to say.
Yes.
Indeed. Speaking of which, I was looking at the first race at Del Mar on Friday, and I went super deep on it. So y'all should totally check that out when it drops tomorrow morning, because it looks like a cool little race. I went back, watched works, watched sale videos and stuff, and there's a filly in there on breaking from the rail, and my brain just completely wiped on what her name is. Of course, she is Romantic.
Okay.
Who looks like, I'm not positive she's a first out winner type of horse, going 5 furlongs on the turf, but keep an eye on how she runs in there, because I think if she shows any ability in this race, that she might be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Love
And
it.
Jessica's being
Well, wait a minute. So
modest
Friday
in
at
how
Del
much
Mar,
time-
right?
Yeah, the first race on Friday, she is Romantic.
So okay, so that's they start at 7:00, so that's past Colin's bedtime. So he will not be watching that race.
That's West
Stocks are
Coast
on
time,
the
though.
West Coast. Stocks, exactly. He's fine.
Yeah.
By the way, there was one excellent
And
event.
Jessica's
I don't know
being-
if Oh, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, bud. Go, Colin.
I was saying Jessica's being modest in how much time she put into that Del Mar
It was
deep
dumb.
dive. So she spent all day on that. So be sure that you all take time
Love
to give it a chance. And Jessica, you are 3 for 4 in your 2-year-old deep dives, right?
That is for my blog, which is separate from my videos. The video
But
horses,
still, hey,
the ones
hey.
that have
Read that
debuted
blog.
so far have
folks.
been
Read
okay.
that blog.
I don't have a winner yet, though, except for one that was kind of an afterthought to the last Del Mar video that I did.
Friday.
There we go.
All right, we're 2 minutes to post in race 2. Sorry, my internet is being kind of cheap tonight, so it's we're struggling through, but we'll get through. I saw Bobby D likes the 5-3 over the 1-4 for an exacta, and most of us here are on the 5, so we're not going to disagree with you there. Stretch is on the 5-3-2 as well. So we have a pretty good consensus on number 5 and expecting a big run from Drizzy. Sean, did you use anybody in your stable duel from race 2 here?
Just 5. That's the only one I use. Just Drizzy. And no one else.
Okay. Jessica,
Right there
did
with
you?
you. I am also just Drizzy.
I did not use anybody in this race.
I like to try, and I'm starting to find like strategies, and one of mine is, I think, starting to be trying to go deeper in the shorter fields, where hopefully there's less chance of not hitting the board or getting close. So so I made sure I picked a horse in this race.
So I did use Drizzy, obviously, but I also kind of like Freudian Slip. I think that horse might come back to form, has some solid Assiniboia Downs races in there. And he got Whitehall the last 2 times to ride. I know he's not riding tonight for the Brown on this horse, but I think wanted to go longer than 5 furlongs. Might want to go longer than 6, but I kind of thought the 1 was interesting too as a price.
I looked at the 1 because of that back form from last year that definitely fits in here. But personally, I just couldn't do it in here. I did think about him for a while when I was getting to the end of my StableDuel budget and trying to find some price horses. But maybe with the Apprentice Jockey, it did have a good race back last July, given when he got toward the front. So maybe they're putting the Apprentice on and trying to go for the lead with him.
Yeah.
You wouldn't shock me.
No.
So basically, I'm boxing a 1-3-5 this race, and then for Exacta and try, and I might just take another Exacta for a little bit more and key the 5 on top of the 1 and 3, just to do that.
Yeah, I would go 5-6 Exacta box for me, or maybe key 5 over the 6, and then as you said, do with the 3 and the 5. But I like the 5 and the 6 here, and that's where I would press my opinion.
Yeah, I feel pretty strongly about the 5 in here. Just waiting for the Exacta payoffs to roll through. I could really see just going 5 over 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. No. Makes sense.
And just leaving it at that. And I mean, honestly, even at 5-2, I think this horse is in win bet territory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Totally.
That, if you have the budget, just throwing a win bet on that horse, I think would be a decent play in here.
I think I'm going to cancel that Exacta that I was saying about putting the 5 on top and just betting a win, because 5-2, like you just said, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like you said, that's win bet category. That's pretty good odds for this horse.
All right,
Yeah,
so they are approaching the gate for race 2. This is live. You're watching us live here, July 31st. I can't believe the calendar is switching to August. The MLB trade deadline show will be kicking off tomorrow for those of you Red Sox fans who are trying to make a little last-ditch effort to the wild card. We'll be paying attention around in these parts, me and Sean for sure.
Yep.
I can't believe it's August to say that. Me and Sean will be up at Saratoga this week, and we'll talk about that later. But for now, we're going to bring you race 2 live here on Trust the Profits, thanks to our friends at Assiniboia Downs. Here we will turn it over to ASD.
Sorry, my bad. I forgot that I was hosting. I'm so sorry.
To the outside. Freudian
I could have done my
wants
impersonation.
a piece of the front end and engages Drizzy. A wave behind on the rail. Diddley in between horses. Herbie, Mr. Walsh, 3 wide. Now Rebounder is the early trailer. 4 lengths off the lead. The opening quarter, 22-4. And it's Freudian Sip. Herbie in between horses. 3 wide, Drizzy, and 4 wide, Mr. Walsh. Diddley settled back, and Rebounder picking up horses from the back. They're still battling it out after a half mile in 45-4. They hit the head of the lane, and Herbie with a slight lead. Drizzy to the outside. Rebounder going to try and split horses late. Drizzy with the lead. Rebounder trying to get through, but this is going to be Drizzy, who is going to win it by a length. Rebounder second best. Third's going to go to Herbie. And
good call on rebounder there.
Even with the weight of all
that
of us.
That was a big race. Yeah, right. Even with the weight of all of us, he gets it done.
Finds a way to get home.
Yeah.
Carrying the 110. Exactly.
That was a fun race.
That was a great race.
Yeah, that's a $39 exacta, 5.6 exacta.
Did you have that, Colin, hopefully?
I didn't play it, but that was what I gave out on the show here. I said 5.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what
exactly.
you said. That's what you gave out. Well done.
6 was my value play.
Yeah, it was great play.
Yeah, 10-1.
Matt DeSantis better look out. I might be coming for his job up at Naira after this performance here.
Well, you're already halfway there. You got glasses and hair. You're close.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Here you go, Dennis.
There you go. There it is.
The hat.
Oh, hi, man. Hey, how's New York going?
Now, Colin, let's hear you say salutations.
Yes. Until next time, it's now post time. Thomas T played it. Awesome. I'm glad someone made some money, because if I played it, you would have lost. So
great job. Good job, Colin. That's a great pick.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Todd. It's nice to be right once in a while.
10-1. Nice job.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of money, because when I said that, when they were going in, it was not 10-1. I think it was more.
Sorry, I have never seen equipment like this on a horse before.
Yeah.
The horse has goggles.
He does. Look at this. The alien has landed.
Well,
like I've never seen like the transparent, like a just like a mud shield, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Is that in the form? I guess that's his blinkers.
Yeah.
We walked in and asked, what's the cheapest pair you got?
I guess there is a blinker cup on it, but I've just never seen it like that. And
those are the COVID blinkers. When you go to the doctor now, they got the shield on. So it's the COVID blinkers for the horse.
They got the tail all done up all pretty.
Look at him ready to go. It's like, now they can see everybody. He's like, hey, I think I just won.
That's funny.
I'll pop that down.
You know, I will say this, though,
we should get prices momentarily.
As nice as the 5-1 and as easy as I won't say easy, because he grinded out the 6 and grinded out the 3, but he did it kind of confidently. I'll be interested if that horse kicks back into form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely back at his level. And he paid $780 to win, $450 to place, and $310 to show. There are some nice prices here. $10.30 to place and $570 to show on rebounder. So even just betting that horse across the board would have been a solid little return. And Herbie was $340.
That exacta.
Yeah, that exacta $39.45. And if you threw the 3 in there on the try, you're looking at $283.10. And that superfecta for $1 was $6.40 and 40 cents.
Colin's giving out 38 to 1 exactas. Just for exactly.
Just trying to catch up to you, Sean, with your big plays. And I'm glad Todd took my advice too and played the 5-6-3 all super and got that.
You know what I'm most excited about, by the way? Because that was our friend Volker for Mark Hennig and Dylan Davis.
Yeah.
All those people that said Mark Hennig would never win another race. Crickets.
Doing well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's winning now. Exactly.
We've got some winners coming with Little Bluebird Stables this year. We have so many. We have hit the board in most of our Saratoga starts, but we have not won yet. And we've got 2 claims that are ready. We've got Our Country, who I actually own a share in, who is probably honestly going to be a little bit over his head at Saratoga, but we're excited for anyway.
Yeah.
Anybody this weekend?
Not this weekend. Today we did have one run who I forgot to check on, actually. Gentleman Burglar at Finger Lakes,
I can
where
check
he
for you right
seems to
now.
have found a whole home.
Yep.
Let's take a look real quick.
Sure.
He ran 5th.
Okay.
Which
I was just last week with Rosemary and Mark, and they're very happy about the little bluebirds coming up.
Yeah.
So,
No Regard
wait a
and
minute.
St. Joe Bay are our 2 claimers that we have for our Saratoga partnership.
Jessica, I got a question about that.
Mhm.
Will it be turned over to Little X Stable?
No, it will not.
That's a good one.
That
Jen.
site is Twitter, and no matter what kind of rebranding they attempt to do, I don't think it's going to stick.
No.
Like, it'll be like, I know there's certain things that I just call what they used to be called, and like how I still sometimes think about the King's Bishop, which has been very appropriately renamed to the Alan Jerkins, but my brain still registers as the King's Bishop.
Yeah. And you will be glad to know, Jessica, my friend Roberta returned to the races.
Good.
She did. After she lost her friend, she was a little bit, our closing friend on the turf, but she took like a month off, and she and the baby were back and with Dad last week.
That's good. Yeah, no, we
she's
all
back
were
and ready to go.
That was not a good time for any of us.
No.
I was also in a state, so
Yeah.
I feel her. Well done. Thank you, Colin.
Love it, Todd.
Great job, Todd, listening.
Yeah. And nice job, Mel, with that as well.
That was
I saw that race. That was a good race. Yeah, congrats.
Which one? Oh, Caesar Gray. Yeah, Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, stupidly, I had a tip on the horse first time out, and when it was at Ellis, and then played the horse back. That was very smart of me, but it happens.
So it
that horse
goes.
would be interesting, though. That's a pretty good horse.
And by the way, if anyone's looking for a possible 2-year-old, I don't know if you saw it this yesterday. The Ammermans had their first 2 horses ever with Mike McCarthy, and they came in 1-2, and Endlessly, who's the Oscar performance baby, just powered his way to the lead. The other one was out at Enticed, but what do you call it? And he came in second, but Endlessly powerfully got to came home. So he's going to be definitely one to watch.
Ooh, yeah, I'll have to rewatch that race. I missed it, so
yeah, watch Endlessly. He he gets caught and he doesn't panic, and he just pushes him right through, and he just bursts right through everybody.
Yeah, and first time out, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Those Oscar performances have been just incredible.
He's our boy is he's becoming a player right now.
Yeah.
He's got shades of Warfront just in his versatility and the just brilliance of some of his babies.
Now, I know I'm not the host of the show, but can I at least ask, or maybe take a few minutes, like a look back in this weekend of racing? Let's open up that little spark of Forte inquiry, all of that type, and everything else too, like the Bing Crosby and everything else. What stuck out to y'all this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. No, I was so excited. I thought the non-DQ I thought it was kind of a tough call, but it's more just the inconsistency that makes it frustrating.
Yeah.
On its own, if someone just showed me that race, I'd be like, okay, I see that they left him up. But seeing some of the other things that have happened at Saratoga that they have taken down, and then other much worse things that they haven't, it's just kind of, you want to know what's a foul, what's my horse going to actually get my horse taken down, and what isn't.
Right.
But I mean, and it stinks because it took away, I think, from what was a heck of an effort by Forte. I mean, that horse has never been out finished at the wire, essentially. Like even I think it was the Sanford where he ran 4th, but every horse that was like within his sights, in his little crew, he passed.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps doing that. So, he outfinished Loggins. So, and I mean, what more can a horse do?
Mhm.
See?
You had
What
to
did
go
y'all
there.
think?
You had to go there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You had to go there. Like, oh, Jessica, you were
Because
doing
Loggins is a
so
very good horse.
Was.
I mean,
He still is.
honestly, yeah, he's still a very good horse.
Still a very good
He's
horse.
just not going to be a very
Exactly.
good racehorse anymore.
Right. He's gonna be a great sire.
That's
And
right.
Colin already has 18 shares all ready to go. Exactly.
Yes.
When they exactly. So
Yeah.
I watched it. Watching it live, and that's kind of usually what I rely on as far as should it be a DQ or not. And when I watched it live, that was not my reaction. My reaction wasn't, oh, that's an automatic DQ. And I think part of it was, and you know, this is probably not the right way to think, but the horses were side by side when they bumped, and I think that comes into play because if Forte is half a length in front of the horse and comes over to his right and his butt hits the front of the horse, there's going to be a different reaction for Angel of Empire as opposed to the two of them at the same side, kind of just bumping over into each other, right? Like think of like a car crash. If you hit the tail end of the top front of a car and it's going to start the spinning, it's going to be a lot more violent than kind of just bumping into each other from the side. And I think when I watched it live, my first instinct was not even really thinking, should it be a DQ until they passed. And then the announcer started talking about it and then they brought back the replay. And when that's my first gut reaction, then that's how I kind of feel like it should play out. And when you see some of them and you're like, oh my God, they got to look at that. That's got to be a DQ. That's when I immediately jump to, oh, that was the wrong call because I rely on what I see live. And I think that that's what's ruined on a much bigger picture sports. I think, you know, when you start breaking this stuff down frame by frame on did his pinky toe touch the white line, it slows the games down and it causes, you know, stuff that we all complain about when it's a regular, when it's another sport, one of the four major sports. And so that's what I rely on is when I watched it live, what did I see? What did I think? And yeah, there was some pushing. There was a little bit of bumping, but I was not on that's absolutely a problem, you know, a DQ.
Yeah. And
if anything,
for me,
I think he lost.
You know,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well,
okay.
I was just thinking, like, when I watched it live, like you said, Colin, and I was watching it at simulcast at Churchill, I had a couple of people ask me there, you think he deserves to come down? I was like, I don't think so, but you don't know. On the inside, I was like, I don't know what the DQ is anymore, you know, because Maurer has done that to me. So, but like you said, Colin, watching it live, I didn't think it should be. Watching the replay, like you said, breaking it down. I'm like, yeah, I guess you could make a case for it, but I like that thought of watching it live, especially in something like horse racing, you know, and I can understand the head-on too being used, but, and I think this is a good topic as well for, you know how like FanDuel TV has the jockey camera thing?
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be talked about where that should be like a necessary like tool that every jockey has to wear that, because if you're riding the horse, if you're getting the camera of what the jockey's seeing, that could almost be better than the head-on in some ways, you know, or the pan view or whatever. So I think instead of using it as like a entertainment value, they could really use that as a tool to change how inquiries are looked at.
We got some people disagreeing in the chat about whether
I love it.
Whether it would be
such a great topic.
DQ, which fair enough. I mean, honestly, I kind of think that Forte was, whether he initiated it or not, he was the one who was thrown off balance even more than Angel of Empire was.
There's 3 Cox horses and 1 Forte. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to get, you know what I'm saying? It's just interesting. There's 3 Cox horses around him. You know, it was kind of like when Cigar ran out in California and the 2 Franco horses just kind of Mandel horses, you know, like what do you call it? One ran him into the speed duel and the other one passed him. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah, in the Pacific Classic.
Yeah, exactly. As my dad says too, which is kind of funny, if you go back like 30 years, obviously none of us were really to see it, but Angel Cordero, Jorge Velasquez, Cinto, the things they used to do around turns at Belmont if the modern people saw what they did on like a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? The rubbing, they put you into the rail, you know.
Yeah.
There's a great video of a race at Churchill Downs where the two jockeys are literally whipping each other in the face the whole way down the stretch. Right, they're literally whipping each other down the stretch, not the horses. Right, but I guess the steward said, "Well, they're both whipping each other. What can we do?" But yeah, it's just so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, you want everyone to be safe, and at the same time, you don't want to punish who the best horse was. But yeah, Tony, let's move on here to. We've only got 6 minutes to talk about the third race. Thank you, though, Dennis. That definitely was a conversation that we needed to have at some point tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
So in the third race, though, we will scratch the 1 and the 7. Unfortunately, the Sleepy Time All-Terrain Jane is not here today. She will be sleeping, I suppose.
Yes.
Sean, what did you think about this race?
Okay. Well, I know Shoddy is already on this horse. I did like Sugar Daddy Jack. That was one of my picks here. Obviously, Sven Ballroop is not on Marvin Buffalo's horse, so whenever he's not on Marvin Buffalo's horse, you have to think twice. But I do like the horse that this horse ran. The race that this horse ran made a real nice bid. The stakes race obviously was just too tough for him. I like the race in the maiden special. I didn't think this group was a tremendously, a huge group. And I thought this horse, it was just too tough of a group, but put a really nice group race against Mighty Frisky. And I think he is my top pick here.
Speaking of which, Shoddy tweeted at me about Sugar Daddy Jack, and you should go look at the responses to her tweet because the bots came out and they were like,
I saw that.
They're like, I'm looking for a Sugar Daddy. DM me. I was like, oh my God. It's worth it.
Using keywords on Twitter.
I was like, who's responding DM? And then I looked at their profiles and I'm like, hey, Shoddy, you got a shot. Sugar Daddy is actually my top pick as well. Shown confidence in the races that they have entered this horse in was a angle that I wrote down. The two I don't like that it's tried the last 8 times. Go back to that little, does this horse really know how to win? And then my value pick, which could have also been argued for my topic, was 5, Shotgun 1, with our boy Demario Bino on, sired by Kentucky Bear, who's one that I've certainly taken notice because that horse just does really well as a sire up here at ASD. And then the angle that me and Matt just always agreed on and talk about is increasing speed figures. And this horse went 42.58. Last time out, breaking the maiden, put up a 67, including when being bumped at the break. Broke out of the 5-hole twice and has done well from the outside as opposed to the 2 times in on the rail. So at 12-1, although right now you are getting what? I had to pause my feed because when I play it, I get all let's see.
You're at 8-1. No, sorry, wrong horse. 5-2 right now.
5-2. Yep.
5-2. So another good stable duel choice. If you took the horse at 12-1, you got 2 scratches, and now you're getting the horse at 5-2. So I took 2 horses in my stable duel here. I am on Shotgun 1 and Sugar Daddy Jack.
Yeah, Shotgun 1 was my top pick in here. For the reasons you mentioned, I thought that the horse was tactical. And I like in races like this where you have horses who have kind of learned how to lose. You have a horse who has just learned how to win coming in and showed tenacity doing it. Yeah, I think that this horse makes a lot of sense in here. And that was who I ended up going with in Stable Duel as well. And I thought that for a little more of a price that Dot and Dash was interesting to hit the board. Another horse who should be tactically placed in here and has speed figures that fit with the group, and obviously Sugar Daddy Jack makes sense too. Who did you like in here, Dennis?
Sorry, I'm just looking at these funny replies. It's just like so stupid that you say a horse's name and get that. That's great.
Oh, on Twitter? Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, but for this race, especially in Stable Duel, I mean, I think Jack Sugar Daddy, Why would Jack have a? Wait a minute. No. Sugar Daddy Jack. Hopefully he gets us paid here tonight. Woo. Woo. I don't know.
I see
Also,
what you did there.
I like the 5. Yeah, I can't really speak too much on the 3. I think the 3 is just too logical. Makes too much sense. Probably should be 4 to 5. I guess betting wise, I would stay out of this race. But this is gonna be fun hearing that name. Now.
Yeah, honestly, this is another race where I'm probably going to just throw a little win show bet on the 5 at 5 to 2 because I think that's pretty fair on this horse. Despite Dennis's claim that Sugar Daddy Jack should be odds on, I think I'm pretty comfortable with Shotgun 1.
Well, this horse got what do you call it? The turn bumped in the steadied inside on the turn versus Sugar Daddy Jack. So you can make you can make the case if he didn't steady inside on the end of the turn, maybe he's right up there with him. So
yeah, that's kind of the hope. He was only beaten 2 3/4 lengths by him in that race, and he's stepped up his speed figures by 12 since then.
Yeah,
I think he'll have a tactical edge over Sugar Daddy Jack as well. Be a little bit closer to the pace. And in races like this, I like horses who are close generally, just because you have so many horses who are kind of just looking for their buddies and want to hang out with the herd.
Yeah.
You know what? In honor of Sugar Daddy Jack, I'm going to take my clothes off. I'll be back in a second.
Yikes.
Oh, can't wait.
Please omit.
Can't wait to see what we come back with.
We're having technical difficulties. There's a huge storm in Kentucky, and they won't be on until next year.
Gosh, what happened? Oh no!
It was really Trusty responding to Shoddy and me about that. That's what Trusty's looking for. All right, we are 2 minutes from race number 3. I liked the 3 and the 5. Sean liked the 3.
And
Jessica likes the 5. Sean likes the 5 as well.
Yep.
And
Those are my two
Trusty's
stable
taking his
doors.
clothes off for some reason. I don't know why I missed the inside joke there, but hopefully when Dennis comes back, here we go. Good, he put his shirt on. Oh, all right.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Love to see it.
In the hat.
Wordplay. I love it.
It's getting the
I had you all
swag.
concerned. I know I did.
We don't know how to trust you folks down there in Kentucky.
Never trust a man who calls himself Trusty.
No, that's my name.
Right.
I know. That's fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
Still, you can't trust a man named Trusty.
That's true.
All right, so we will bring up the feed for you here. Jessica will take care of that as we are
And I
approaching
won't forget the audio this time.
the gates. All on you. I muted mine, so we're good. My computer can't handle hosting and streaming and all this good stuff. Kurt and Stretch are both on the 3, so they agree with us as well. And at least Stretch enjoys the 5 as well in third place there. The 6 was one that Jessica had mentioned, and the 4, I don't think any of us had mentioned the 4, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
This is a horse that should probably show some early speed. Has raced at this level last 3 times. Definitely wasn't going to be in my stable duel when I see losing by 50 lengths and 13 lengths. Double-digit lengths is not a winning combo for me when I'm looking at my stable duel horses, and I want those ones beat me every time. However, Kurt is interested in get up early.
Yeah, I mean, this horse should get the lead, I think. But I think this is another horse who kind of like in the last race where I said, if the horse gets clear on the lead, maybe, but not really a horse that you can trust in here.
Not fast enough compared to the other ones to say that's easily going to get the lead. And even if it does, I think there's going to be some pressure there. So that would be pass on.
I just don't see it.
And right now, my boy Antonio is just struggling. He's just not riding with any consistency. It's hard when you're not around a thing that you follow. He could maybe have an injury. He could have something that maybe you just don't know that he's like working through or something. Like to start that hot and then go that cold, maybe he's working through something that we just don't know. But right now, he's just not riding with any consistency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a coin flip with your boy Antonio right now.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. El Hombre in the house.
Checking
Alombre,
in
we're
from
hoping you're feeling better,
Hope you're
Alombre.
feeling better, my man.
He's
Yeah,
been feeling under the
absolutely.
weather, but he'll be
Yeah.
back as stronger than ever. We hope soon. We're holding it down for you,
Yep.
Alombre. We're 2 for 2 so far tonight, so we're putting in the work for you, my friend. So hope you feel better.
Yeah, feel better soon, brother.
absolutely. You are missed.
I don't know. I mean, I've been sick really the last week. Has anybody else here been under the weather or anything? Because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been sick or whatever.
Yeah, thankfully, healthy over here.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
dealing with the
Knock on wood.
Saharan
Knock
dust
on wood.
storm.
We're doing good.
All right, Mouth, that's going 3 over the 4-6. I'm going to assume that is an exacta. Mitchell has the 4 in StableDuel, so hopefully we didn't knock your confidence there, Mitchell, and maybe you'll get.
Maybe we gave him more confidence.
That's right. After listening to us, Mouth, that the
Although
Canadians.
we've been pretty good so far today.
By the way, that last race, that was the cleanest break the one has had all year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, from hospital bed. God bless my man.
Yeah. Wow, that's commitment.
That is commitment right there.
Love to see it. And I will go ahead and turn things over to Kurt here
You're left to load.
for the third race.
Shotgun 1. And just waiting on Dot and Dash to the outside. Living Sky, a little fractious in the gate. They're at the post. And they're off. From the inside, Living Sky sent hard early. Go right out after the early lead. Get up early, putting on the pressure to the outside. Dot and Dash is going to stalk those two in third. Then it's back to Shotgun 1. And Sugar Daddy Jack, the early trailer, of 4.5 off the lead. Get up early and Living Sky cut the opening quarter in 23 seconds. Dot and Dash now moves to make a 3-wide bid. Shotgun 1 and Sugar Daddy Jack, the trailer, has some work to do. They just passed the half mile and it's get up early. And Living Sky through a half in 46-1. They hit the head of the lane. Living Sky pokes a nose in front, battling back in between horses. Get up early. 3 wide. That's going to be Dot and Dash coming up the fence. Shotgun 1. But Living Sky trying to fend off them, and she's going to do it. Living Sky's going to take it. Shotgun 1 second best. Third's going to go to Dot and Dash, and fourth to Get Up Early.
Well, I guess there had to come a race where we weren't all over the winner.
Yeah. It's El Hombre's fault.
And yeah, well, the filly against the boys in here, Living Sky, who, I mean, look, in hindsight, okay, sure. Makes some sense in here. It was interesting, I guess, that they were going for the higher tag compared to the geldings in here with a $9,375 tag rather than the $7,500.
That's an interesting number. I've never seen that number.
Me neither, yeah. And then Shotgun 1 in second and Dot and Dash in third. So actually they were pretty close. I forgot I used Dot and Dash in StableDuel as well. So I feel like I'm still probably okay. Hopefully hanging in. This is the closest I've been so far.
Sugar Daddy Jack was a disappointment in that race.
Definitely a disappointment there. Yep.
He ran out of money.
I am happy from a StableDuel perspective that he ran last.
Yeah, Ballroop didn't realize he wasn't riding for Buffalo and said, "Uh-oh."
he got behind, and I think the 4 was pressuring on the outside, and I think that Sugar Daddy Jack was probably just waiting a little too long, and then when he went, there was nothing there to fire. So
The Sugar Daddy Jack, wasn't it a sleeper horse a couple of weeks ago?
was he?
I think he was the first Sleepy Jack winner.
No, that was all.
That was All-Terrain Jane.
Oh,
that was the horse that scratched.
Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
The horse that will live in infamy, Sean. All-Terrain Jane.
Yes. Yes.
We need to breed All-Terrain Jane to Loggins, and you'll have a superstar horse there.
I'll do like a 3-minute video on like the hypothetical foal.
Yes, love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Colin, Shadi made a meme of that. That was your first Sleepy pick that won.
All-Terrain Jane, yes.
No, Sleepy, our 3 horse there. She made a meme of it. Shadi made a meme of it when you it was your first
Sugar
pick.
Daddy Jack was the first one?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was All-Terrain Jane was the second one.
She was the second one. Yeah. Because you had 2 in a row.
You almost had them in the same race.
Yeah. That's scary.
Oh.
I don't know about that because I'll have to go back and check the records.
Yeah. Shadi's all over it.
Got some solid payoffs here again. 1630, 660, and 460 for Living Sky, $3.40 and $3 for Shotgun 1, $3.70 to show on Dot and Dash. That 2.5 exacta was $35.15, and maybe they'll bring it back and show us what the other payouts were.
Yeah, jeez.
If we get lucky, we just have these. This is a cool, like, fractally background they got going on here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
You go.
107.50 for the try, 263.15 for the superfecta, and that dollar pick 352 pays 84.40, which, I mean, I feel like it really just keyed on if you could have gotten to Living Sky, who would have probably been a deeper pick in here for me. But if you really felt confident about those first 2, like we did in here, you might have been able to get to that without spending too much.
Yeah. So 2 things real quick. Ron Smith, VIP fan tonight. He's not a VIP fan if he doesn't tune into the Trust the Profit stream. I'm sorry. That's a new rule. That's a new rule. Number 2, you know how you said about the background design? Funny enough, I don't know if he still does it or not, but the person who I guess used to or might still do the designs for Assiniboia. Remember the old Trusty Picks TP logo?
Mm-hmm.
Assiniboia Downs designer did that for me.
Nice.
That's awesome. Very cool.
That's why I didn't want to change it for so long, even though it was like toilet paper. No, Trusty Pick.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate acronym there.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's just a fun fact. Since you brought up their design, I thought I might as well just say that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Colin and Sean, y'all are also going to be at the Whitney this weekend?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I am leaving on Wednesday and beginning the 32-hour drive to Saratoga.
Wow.
Because
so when will
it
you
would
get
be way
there?
more expensive because I have a place to stay.
Okay.
And it would just be way more expensive to fly and rent a car than to drive my little Honda Fit. That's, I mean, already got me to Ocala and back at like 37 miles to the gallon for the entire trip. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to drive. And so looking forward to seeing you guys there.
Yeah, excited.
When will you make it?
What day
When
do
do
you
you
get there?
I'll be there Saturday morning. I'm
Oh,
going
awesome.
to stop through
Same here.
it's like adds like an hour if I stop by my parents' house in Maryland instead of just going straight there. So I'm going to do 2 12-hour days and then an 7 to 8 hour day up to Saratoga from my parents' house Saturday morning.
Okay.
Wow.
God bless.
That's great because you were going to go into town earlier now. So now we'll all be there on a Saturday. I know Right at the Wire is going to be there Saturday. Obviously, Matt DeSantis will be there. So
Even Carson is going to be there.
Wow.
Oh,
Saturday?
awesome.
Carson is going to be there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You better
Well, this will be a good time.
they better close down Saratoga Saturday night because Trust the
have a full-on
Prophets.
party.
We are all there. So that's going to be great. And if anybody else is out there that's going to be there, please hit us up and we'll be around. Were you hanging at the Paddock Bar the last couple of weekends, Sean?
Huh?
Were you hanging at the Paddock Bar the last couple of weekends, or were you walking around?
I was walking around. Well, my dad, God bless him, was up there with a fractured foot, so I had to push him around in a wheelchair for 3 days. But he wasn't going to miss Saratoga. God bless him. And so we were in the 4-star Dave. It was easier for him, but he still went up and still watched the races. So
great. I know King George Picks, who's on Twitter, is going to be up there Saturday. So it should be a good weekend. It sounds like Whitney weekend's the weekend that horse racing Twitter all decides to move up.
It's a great weekend. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, great racing. I'll be there Friday morning. So if anybody's out there Friday, I'm going to try and take down the early Friday before the Whitney Pick 5 for the second year in a row. That's what paid for my trip last year. So
love that.
I got my eyes on it.
Pay for itself. That's the dream. And I'll actually be there for the full week, and I'll be there the following weekend as well. If anybody else happens around there, I needed to stay for the sale, and then the Little Bluebird Stables meet up.
Pedigrees galore. This next coming week.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm going to get to kind of look at horses with a client of mine that I'm very excited about working with. So
that's awesome.
That'll be fun.
Fantastic, pal. That's awesome.
I love that.
But yeah, it'll be I got to make it worth it if I'm driving 32 hours or something silly like that to get there. So we'll have a good time.
One of my favorite things to do, like you said with the sales, is I know nobody cares about this type of stuff, and I know it's because of just like the analytics and all that of Twitter, but I do like doing this. When they had the sale, I like looking at the catalog and trying to guess what the horses go for.
That's something I am absolutely the worst at.
Yeah. I mean, and you'll see some like bargain type horses. I wish that like in the forums it had, like instead of just Keeneland sale 2021 purchase price number, whatever. I wish they actually included the hip numbers in there so you can kind of like follow along with certain horses from sales.
If you go on Equibase, you can find it. If you look up on Equibase and their auction history, it'll show you the horse's hip number at the sale. Yeah.
Oh,
makes life a lot easier. Yes. Pro tip from the professional.
Awesome. Okay. I need to do that sometime.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hey there, Jeff. Thanks for tuning in.
Never seen live racing on her phone. And Mr. Colin, I've never been called Mr. Colin, Jeff. I love that, though. I think that's what I should start saying. You guys all call me is Mr. Colin.
Mr. Colin.
Mr. Colin and Mr. Wonderful are here. Thank you for race 2. And the lady, Miss Jessica has it going on.
Jay Tuggs has it going on.
Really smart. Nothing about trusting. Here we go. Call on Malathat. Dennis, Malathat wants to meet you at the airport Friday, and you can fly up to Saratoga. What do you say?
That'd be great. Gotta get a place to stay.
You can stay at the Fleabag Motel that I'll be staying at. You can. The floor will be just as clean as the bed I'm probably in, but I don't expect to be spending much time there. So.
Yeah, I got lucky because I had a friend and a client who has a house up there. With beautiful. Guest rooms. So he was like, yeah, sure. We've got a room. I'm like, perfect.
Beautiful.
Because otherwise that was the second reason I was going to bring my car was so that I could find a hotel like 20 minutes out where I'm not spending $500 a night to go up there.
And Jessica, another Texas legend's going to be up there this weekend. CJ Johnson.
Love to see it. Might have to try and see if I can say hi. They've got a nice twirling candy filly whose name keeps escaping me.
Sugar
High. Sugar High, yes.
Yes, she's gonna run on the third in the what do you call it? In the what's the 2-year-old race on the August 3rd? She's gonna run in the stakes race.
Remember. But that's awesome. Yeah. I'm excited to see her. I don't remember the stakes.
She is Kelly Alvarado's favorite horse in the Mott Barn.
Ooh. All right.
Ooh.
She absolutely adores. She went for one race the day she ran. That was to see her, and that was before
Love it.
she even ran. So
Wait, so is Sugar High like a half or a full to Looking High in this race for the Assiniboia?
Right. Good segue.
good.
We
Segue.
do have 8 minutes to post, and Looking High is my top pick, and I think a lot of us agree on this horse in here, if I am not mistaken, dropping in class, and a horse who might appreciate that little bit of a cut back from the mile. Dennis, what were you thinking in here?
So for me, I really disagree. I don't like the one at all. Yes, I do. Because the one is just, I mean, even though the one horse looks okay, I guess, I mean, does have to work out a trip, I think he gets a trip. And also is, it's a curious drop in class. I like the drop down in class. Yeah. Everybody keep at the house limit. No,
Yeah.
I like the one Looking High. The class drop is perfect. I think the horse is going to sit a perfect trip. I think just need to find. I don't want to say form because there's not really great form with this horse. I think just needs to improve just a little bit, and I think that will get the horse to go buy some stuff to look high.
Colin, what were you thinking in here?
Yeah, my top pick was also one Looking High. You've talked enough about him, so I'm going to give you the long shot, who I like underneath. Let's see if we can keep this hot streak going. And my value play was going to be number 5, Heimelstein, with Cumberbatch aboard with Shelley Brown training. Why did I like this horse? Well, I think this horse is going to get the lead. This horse won at 24-1 last year in a very similar spot, and that's something that I know it was last year, but got an early lead on that day. It may be a need the lead type, which could be a little concerning, but let's get down to the meat and bones of why I really like this horse. At the distance, has 4 victories. You're going 7 furlongs, and as I've talked about on this show many times, that's a distance that's a little quirky for some horses. And I'm hoping, although you have some others that have, the one has been running at a mile, has a little bit of success. Only 1 win at the distance. The 2's only got 2 wins at the distance. The 3 hasn't won at the distance. The 4 was another horse I thought you could use for value, an $800,000 purchase 6-year-old who's won 3 times at the distance. So I'm playing a little bit of that distance angle here between the 4 and the 5, along with the 1. So I was 1 on top, and then maybe you go with the 4 and the 5 underneath. Maybe you back that up with 4 or 5 over the 1 in case one of them gets home first. I think the 1's been very consistent. I think he could be passing some of these horses late, and I like that in my StableDuel angle. The 2 is just inconsistent this year, right? We talked about 2 earlier in the pre-run up to the show. Look, if 2 gets back to what he's done last year, then you might have an easy winner here. But I'm going to take my shot, especially against a horse at short odds who hasn't really done this year what's done in the past.
Yeah, I liked the 4 in here. Sorry, my dog just let herself into the room.
What's she like?
Special guest performance. Exactly.
Yeah, starring Riza. But yeah, I liked the 1 on top, but I thought the 4 made a lot of sense in here. I thought the 4 was going to be close early, and I liked, like you mentioned, the 3 for 6 at the distance. I really liked, but as far as like a kind of not super out there horse, 11-1 right now on the board. I thought Drum and Bass was kind of interesting, even though it is a step up in class. I thought that the Shelley Brown off the claim possibly could be a interesting angle there for a horse who did win last out in a time restricted for 3,000. But another one who was a pretty expensive horse that they thought might be pretty good at one point. I'm sure we're not expecting to be running in $3,000 non-winners in a year at Assiniboia. But I thought that 19% angle for Shelley Brown first off the claim was interesting with drum and bass. And if I'm not mistaken, Silver Colors is a daughter of Winning Colors. I will check that real quick. But hi, Mom. Riza says hi.
I knew we had a celebrity in the house.
Yep, Mom and Dad always tune in.
Awesome. My mom.
We appreciate them. And yes, Silver Colors, the dam of the four, is a daughter of Kentucky Derby winner Winning Colors.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Just
I forgot through all my banter of stupidity and making jokes that I forgot to discuss the other horse I liked was the 6. Driving back down into this level, loves the distance. And what I'm playing here is 1-6 with everybody but the 2 exactly, because I really don't like the 2. I think the 2 is just a false favorite. And if you get around the 2, I think you're going to really open up your payoffs. So, 1-6 with everybody but the 2. Sorry, go on, Sean.
No, I respect that move.
Yeah.
That's just toss the favorite and I'm kind of with you. I mean, he was probably my 4th choice in here.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not a horse that I'm interested in at 6-5. Although, the drop-in class makes sense, but definitely not a horse that I really need in here personally. As we are now 2 minutes to post, who does everybody like in here? Tim loves the 2. Yeah, 2 for 2 at the distance.
My StableDuel horse is the 2. I just a quick backstory with House Limit. This is sad for me to say, okay? When I used to go see Rocketry and Preservationist and everybody in Jimmy Jerkin's barn, right next door was House Limit.
Wow.
And he won an Aqueduct at 1-9 under David Cohen. So you know what I'm saying? So they had real high Shields, who was like the MRI Shields and all that stuff, owned them. They had real high hopes for him in 2018, and to see him here now at Assiniboia Downs, at this level is one of those kind of gut punches, because he was a great horse to be around. But he's 2 for 2 at the distance. I used to feed him mints, so I went with him in StableDuel. Win or lose. Yeah. The horse loved my mints when I gave them to him. I'm going with him.
That's a winning angle.
Yeah, that's fate. That's better than anything else we have. That's fate.
I'm glad that I'm in good company here with Basil, who likes the 1, 4, and 7, which that's exactly where I'm at. Jeff couldn't get away from Silvermaker, who, it's close for me between the 1 and the 4, I feel like.
Sean, you brought up Rocketry. It's funny because when he ran here at Churchill in that Breeders' Cup Marathon, he was actually in my dad's boss's barn.
No way.
Yes. And my dad actually said, and my dad's been working on the backside off and on since the late 70s. And he said, Rocketry, as soon as he stepped into the barn area, he said, oh my God, this might be the biggest horse I've ever seen. And
he had to have great quick story. He had to have an orange cone in front of his stall because he liked to playfully bite people, sometimes too excessively.
He had it at Churchill.
So we used to call him. We used to call him the Orange Cone Warrior.
Yeah.
And Todd saying, the horse liked mints, but you'd be surprised. I bet a horse once who did not know how to eat a mint.
Yes.
And it was one of the silliest things. A baby, he was a nice horse too, Avery Island, who we were going down the shed row trying to, giving mints to the horses. And this poor horse, he wanted to eat the mint. he just could not figure it out. He'd like put it in his mouth, he'd like lick at it and then just like drop it. We started like trying to like shove it toward the back of his mouth for him, and it would fall out and just getting horse slobber everywhere. It was ridiculous. We were because he kept going back for it. Like, how do I do this? And I kind of just wonder if Avery Island ever learned how to eat a mint, because that's when I, like Roll Cyrus Roll on Twitter with Chris Brown. That was what that made me think of, was Avery Island just could not figure out how to eat the mint, just as Cyrus could not figure out how everyone was having so much fun rolling on the ground. But those are such fun stories. Animals. Exactly. It's cool when you get to know things about the individuals, like House Limit, and get to know them and stuff.
Yeah.
As horses, instead of just I always think of handicapping as just a logic puzzle, So as instead of just the numbers and the puzzle pieces, getting to know them as individuals is so fun. Just like extra large people.
Yeah, they really are. They really are.
Who does everybody else have in here? Mitchell singled the 2 in the pick 5 and used the 1 in StableDuel. Yeah, what did the 1 cost in StableDuel? I actually went with the 4 in StableDuel, but
8,000.
8,000. Okay, that makes sense.
And the 1 was used in the free game in 47 stables, so 16%. The 2 was used in 88 stables, so 30%. The 3 was used only 7%. Actually, the 4 was used in 36% of stables.
Yeah.
5, 10%, 6, 17%, and the 7, 11%. So actually, the 4 Silvermaker was the most used horse in this race in the free game, with the 2 House Limit behind and the 1 not even third. 6 was third.
By the way, speaking of StableDuel, I'm getting close to my goal.
Mediocrity.
Out of 229, I'm above average right now, slightly.
But by the way, a quick shout out in the free game right now. Right in 7th place is Smurf of the Turf. Right, that happens to be my mom.
Oh, nice.
Love to see it.
Go, Mom!
Wow, and she's on.
Unfortunately, I'm sitting right behind your mom, so I'm gonna have to root against her here.
Right, and she's got House Limit too. Exactly.
I stacked my deck late, so my horses. I got 2 horses in race 5, 6, and 7. I'm kicking myself over not taking the 2 horses that I talked about on the show in race 2. I ended up not using anybody in race 2, and then I nailed it. And now you're kind of praying that you're later in the card. You were on as you were early.
Yeah.
Don't you know? I did front load my stable a little bit. I've got Love Hours late, who I'm pretty confident in, and that the others are a little bit could work out for me, could backfire, especially Wit 9 and White Rose Spirit in the last 2. So I'm not in a safe, comfortable 8th.
That last race was a head scratcher.
That was a competitive race.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Yes, got to root for Smurf of the Turf. Love it.
Thank you, Dan. Also, just what a great name.
Isn't that great?
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
how long has she been playing?
Race.
Huh?
How long has she been playing?
Let me tell you right now, with and I'm not exaggerating, right? People laugh at my dad and I and everything. My mom has about a 60% winning percentage in the Derby. She's incredible. In the Triple Crown races, she is lethal. Yeah, exactly. She's been playing for about 40-something years, and she's picked Derby winners and Triple Crown in the money, like it's out of style.
That's impressive, because that is tough to do with any kind of consistency.
And she does not play every day like that exactly, but she's good.
All right, they're approaching the gate here for race 4. We're going to bring you the race live here from Assiniboia Downs. Thank you so much to the 40 people in the chat and those that have been dropping in and out. Please hit the like button. It does so much for us as far as algorithms on YouTube. So if you like what you see here, we don't ask for money or donations. We just ask you to hit that like and subscribe button, because that is how it gets us more attention and gets
Wait, we don't ask for money?
Downs.
What are we doing if we're not asking for money?
You can
We're
ask
watching
for
the
money.
fourth at Assiniboia.
Here we go. Send it over to Kurt.
And they're off. Stumbling a bit at the start was Silver Maker from the inside house limit. Quickly goes out to grab the early lead. Rolling sevens in between horses. Himmelstein pressing in third, about 2 lengths off it, Looking High. Sitting in fourth. And it's Captive Kitten, 5 lengths off in fifth. 2 more back to Silver Maker and Drum and Bass. The early trailer. The opening quarter, 24-1. House limit on the inside. And on the outside, rolling sevens. Looking High, creeping up the inside. Closer in third. Himmelstein still fourth on the outside. Making up ground from the back. Silver Maker is running with Drum and Bass. The half mile, 48-1. And House Limit still in control by a length and a half. Rolling sevens and Looking High. They're going to try and go inside and outside on House Limit, but he repels the challenge and is up by a length. Looking High on the inside with the best shot. Coming to the 16th pole. House Limit with the lead. Looking High, running out of ground. The favorite House Limit is going to take it. Second best Looking High. Third's going to go to Silver Maker.
I can't believe the 4 got third there. I thought that horse was done out of the gate, but House Limit gets it done. Looking High, just a little short here. And
great effort by the one.
Yeah, he tried. He tried
that was
hard.
so slow up front. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's why I was so shocked. I expected the 4 to be closer. Yeah. And then when I saw how slow they were going, I was like, there's no way. Watch out for Silver Maker next time, I feel like.
Yes, absolutely. That is definitely one to watch. For
that
sure.
horse got compromised out the gate and still came on, but House Limit did go off, it looks like, as the favorite at 6-5.
He did, yeah.
With another formful result at Assiniboia Downs.
Yep.
Well, I was wrong. That happens.
I had 10 to win on House Limit. As soon as Dennis said, I don't like this 2 at all, I just put 100 on him and said,
right.
This horse can't lose now. No. I didn't bet her. I just not at 6-5. Not at 6-5. Nope. Just glad he won.
Joe pointed out we actually almost had a rare inside winner in Assiniboia.
Yeah.
You never see anybody hugging the rail, and the 1 and the 4 both kept to the inside pretty well, especially compared to what you normally see here.
And I guess the 2 stuck pretty much on the rail a lot too, right? So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
he made it tough on the 1 for sure.
He did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Made him
that was a little bit of a good, like, not illegal, but kind of squeeze, like, hey, want I see you? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make your trip a little bit harder coming up the rail there, you know?
Exactly. You're not taking their path, but you're making it tight.
Make your life a little bit tougher. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Race riding.
Life in the fast lane.
Yeah.
Indeed. Who got 4th there? The 3 rolling sevens. Who we didn't talk about at all. That horse was kind of tough. I would have had a tough time coming up with that horse, I feel like. I mean, big drop. Some of the horses he was running against, but back at Assiniboia, where he did have success in the past, but that is off of my past performances.
Yes,
whenever that was. But got up for 4th here and might give you a little bit of value in that super with what looks like it'll be a pretty chalky exacta and trifecta.
Good job, Tim Hughes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tim's value play of the night.
And Tim is sitting right ahead of my mom. The two of them are just ding dong in here, exactly.
Like
Who did,
that stretch run.
Two legends,
Yeah.
two legends, right?
And now y'all are gonna take a much bigger lead on me because I only had the 4. Unfortunate,
But
but
the
that's
4
all
race,
right.
amazing race. I thought at
Yeah.
the beginning, I thought it was out.
I thought I was losing points.
Yeah,
When they came out of the gate, I was like, there it goes.
That was a heck
There's
of a
my
close.
first red of the night.
Yeah, that was a heck of a
into those
fractions too.
Yeah. It's funny, like you said, Sean, those two horses was battling, giving it their all. I remember I was watching on a Tuesday, and it was Rich Perloff when it was TVG. And he said, if you go back and watch that replay, you could tell a friend that it was Aldar and Affirmed. It was a claiming 4,000 Turf Paradise race, but those two horses was giving it their all. It's amazing how in horse racing, when horses just give it their all, you just appreciate it like that. So,
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what the level is. It's always exciting. And House Limit, we got $470 to win, $240 to place, $220 to show, $3 to place, $230 to show for looking high. And Silver Maker paid $3 to show. That 2-1 exacta, $5.21. Dollar Try, $12.05. And the Dollar Super, $82.40. And that dollar pick 3, 522 pays $72.95. Not too shabby on that pick 3 payout.
Very good.
And we got Todd still alive in the pick 3, and we got Mitchell still alive in the pick 5. So
wow, good job, Mitchell.
Based on these payoffs so far, I think this pick 5 will be pretty solid.
Yeah,
for what will be relatively reasonable horses. So you can make some money at Assiniboia Downs.
5, not a 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
People like the other horses in that race, so I mean that won't hurt.
Yeah. If you felt strongly about that horse, good for you, because I did not.
Right, but a lot of people didn't, so that will help. In terms of
exactly.
It's not paying like a 1 to 5.
Exactly. Even though the all the money in the win pool was there, people were spreading out in those exotics. And now heading in to race 5. It's time for Kate's Princess versus
Tim called that perfectly too. I don't know if we brought this comment up from what he said before, but I was talking about how I find it hard to get on these types of horses, especially the older ones that have shown success in a year before and they haven't really gotten there. But he said this horse just missed it a mile, then came back at 6 furlongs and worked on his speed. And he actually did that in the mile race too. Look for him to go gate to wire here. And so Tim was all over that. Nice job, Tim.
All over.
Yeah, good angle there. And the distance was the key for House Limit. Now 3 for 3, going in that sweet spot of 7 furlongs for him. Good call on Tim.
Fabulous call, Tim.
For House Limit.
Get that horse a mint. Exactly.
Yes. Hopefully he will be going back to plenty of mints up there at Assiniboia. And so I guess Todd likes In the Deep in here, who was a horse I looked at but didn't end up. I mean, I ended up passing this race in StableDuel, which is the only way I'm really.
I have him in my StableDuel. It is the first Whitehall horse I've used in like 2 weeks.
Gonna give him the chance.
For StableDuel at a price, I like that amount of price.
Yeah, this looked like a really tough race to me, and I liked the favorites, but also I didn't feel like they were trustworthy entirely. There were just too many other horses who made a lot of sense, which is why this was the race I decided, you know what? I'm not taking anybody in StableDuel because I could see just about any of these horses winning and just about any of them finishing 6th.
Yeah.
What were you thinking in here, Sean?
My first pick was Kate's Princess, Gary Danielson. And the reason why I picked that is I've been watching this apprentice kid, Abely, right? He is just taking everything to the front. and he's making them run. Even horses that didn't even remember a couple of weeks ago in like that first race, like 19-1, he almost beat the 4-5 on a horse that never even shown any speed. So the way that this horse likes speed, and he's been running against some tough ones. Obviously, he shows a tendency to quit at times, but I mean he's getting a 9-pound break tonight with the Bug Boy. And I just think if the way this kid's been riding on the front, if he can just get Kate out, it may be tough to catch him at 5.5 because the way this kid's riding right now. So that was my first pick. And Danielson, what is he? 13 out of 20 in the money. He's rolling right now. So the two of them are a tough combo. And then my second pick was in the deep, Rick Wise. I just like the consistency that the horse has been running. Whitehall rides him for a second time in a row. And Jeff Fafa has been running really well lately, the horse he lost to. So, I mean, and even my Noah who's in here. So, but just for like a stable duel purpose, I really like the 5 to get like second, third, fourth,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Colin,
That's
what were you thinking?
I'm all Kate's Princesses, baby. That's who I really, really enjoyed here. And I talked about possibly needing the lead, but I like what Sean had to say about the jockey putting this horse on the lead. If you go back through the past performances and look at those poor performances, I'll put that in quotation marks, that would be the 5th place finish, the 6th place finish, and the 4th place finish. I like to try and find reasons to draw lines through performances like that. And all 3 of those performances were down in on the rail. And to me, that could be something that the horse just does not like being in on the rail. And then you say, okay, well, the 2's just as close, right? Well, the horse last 2 times was in the 2-hole, a win at 3, a win by over 3 lengths, and a win by over 5 lengths at this level. So that made it easy for me to say, okay, I can excuse those poor performances. Then we're going 5.5 furlongs, and this horse not only has 4 victories at the distance, has 7 victories at Assiniboia Downs out of 17 races. So I, in particular, like Bugs on 5.5 furlong races, nice and quick, and take a little advantage of that lesser weight. Although I read in the complete handicapper that actually don't pay attention to that. I don't know if you guys do at all, but the weight on the jockey doesn't really matter as much as anybody maybe gives it more attention to. So I don't know. You guys can maybe give me your thoughts on that. But I give that out there, but I don't really put a lot of weight behind it. More so behind those. Draw a line through those.
Oh, I see what you did there. I don't really put a lot of weight behind it. That was good, Colin. Okay, continue.
You like that? It just rolls off the tongue, Trusty. Put a line through those 3 rail trips, and you've got a first, a second, a first, a second, a second, a first, and a first. So my stables are really relying on the 2 Kate's Princess, and I also have the 1 My Noah here. My Noah was my value play at 6-1, and that was really just based off the performances I've seen this year. We've seen horses coming in from Oaklawn have really a lot of success at Assiniboia Downs, and that's where this horse was running in the winter and in May before shipping up to Assiniboia Downs. Previously trained by Diodoro, trained by Mike Taphorn now, who's been hitting at 35%. That's right, 23 races. He's got 8 victories, 6 seconds, and 2/3. I'll take that at 6-1 all day. And when I see this horse run a first and 2 seconds and only lose by a total of 2.5 lengths, I'm going in on the 1-2 here. So that's hopefully where my stables will make a comeback.
And Colin's moving the needle because he's 9-5.
The 1?
The 1 is 9-5. Colin is moving
Wow.
the needle. His video has moved the needle. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, who did you like in here, Dennis?
For me, I mean, I like the 7. I think the 7 is a very good horse. Beat the 1 last time that the 7 ran. Does have a class edge, basically, I think, over the field. But, as good as the 7 is, I would say the interesting horse is the 1, but apparently not. The 1, okay, so going back to last race, even though I didn't like the 2, the 1 and the 5 both beat the 2. So, I mean, the 1 did it more easily than the 5 did, but so for that reason, I think the 1's probably the top pick here, even though I do like the 7. But after what we just saw, I think that kind of helps out the 1. So I think I'm just going to box well, not even box. I'm going to take an exacta 1-5-7 with the 1-2-5-7. Colin, you scare me because you've been winning tonight. So I got to put a little bit of I guess, jinx on your horse, or the horse will win and beat me out at the wire again. But oh well, that's what I'm doing.
That's the game.
Love it. Yeah, I liked 2-1 in here. Colin, you made the case for them both. I think that My Noah is a just better horse now that he is here with his friends at Assiniboia Downs instead of being a little bit probably tougher at least at Oaklawn. But Kate's Princess looks really tough in here. And I think that I agree, I think with Todd that, a couple pounds I'm not worried about. But when a horse is getting 10 pounds, I start to think about it. The conventional wisdom from handicapping, and when when horses were actually handicapped, as in assigned different weights, was that it's 5 pounds to a length. So in theory, if you subscribe to that, if you think that Kate's Princess is within 2 lengths of whoever the other top horses are in here, then that 9.5 pounds will be the difference there. But Tim, who just gave us was all in on that 2 in the last race, likes the 4 in here as well, coming out of the stakes race. Yeah. And yeah, you do see that minute flat 5 furlong work coming in here, and it doesn't look like on the page he has any other 5 furlong works that are quite that quick. So
what scared me about the 4 was just 0 for 3 on the dirt, and all the really good performances were on the synthetic over at Woodbine. So 6 races on the all-weather with 3 victories, a second and a third. And when I compared that to the performances on the dirt, that was what made me sour on the 4. So Tim's a superb handicapper, so I'm interested to see how this plays out. And that's the fun of this game, right? I look at the paper and I see that, and he looks at it and sees the strong works in between races, which I didn't pick up on. So I obviously respect greatly what Riders Up has to say. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an interesting one. It's one of those ones where I could see Kate's Princess winning by open lengths.
Yes.
But I could also see absolutely anybody else basically in the field winning it. Right. Like earlier in when we were first starting the show, Colin mentioned Lab Rat.
Yeah.
Who I thought was really interesting as is he developing into a My Noah type of horse. You have the first try at Assiniboia, and it's his best effort that he's had in a while. So interesting, horse there. Sean mentioned he used In the Deep off of some of that back class. Another horse who could make some sense in here. I mean, at risk of putting the horse in the winner's circle, I feel like the only horse in here that I'm like, I think I'm safe passing would be the 3. But I mean, again, at risk of putting the horse straight into the winner's circle by saying that.
3, I said that it would certainly need the best effort to possibly break through here against the others. Sired by Candy Ride, trained by Gourneau, who's always very respectable. But I didn't have much interest in the 3 either.
But actually, again, maybe the 3 is the one, the same angle on the 1 or the 6 before it happens. My Noah was running 71, 75, 73, 77 back at Oaklawn, and Lab Rat was running, 50s, 60s, 70s at Lone Star, which is, I mean, kind of where this horse has been at Oaklawn and Lone Star. So actually, now that I've said that, I've just talked myself into thinking the 3 has a chance as well. So yeah,
Just pressing the all button.
yeah, no, except you can't. I feel
Right,
like,
right,
I mean,
right.
or actually,
Right.
I think 5 to 2 is a very appealing price on the 2 in here.
And Tim is winning in the $20 Assiniboia games tonight in StableDuel. He's in
Yeah.
first place.
Oh, awesome, Tim.
So I see Tim up there. El Hombre's in 9th right now, respectable from him. He had the 2 and the 5 and the 6 in that race too, which I'm kicking myself over. So he's in 9th. I'm currently down near the bottom, but like I said, I got 6 horses left. So I'm playing the Zenyatta role hopefully today.
I played the good role. I just got to say, I did not enter the $20 game tonight because I did not want to take a spot from
That's
another
nice.
person in the
And I don't-
Assiniboia. So
I don't
just
see
Very
Peter
noble.
Loop in there either, so maybe he was thinking the same.
Yeah, and in
Maybe-
the free game, we got Riders Up, Smurf for the Turf 1-2
yeah.
after that last
There
race.
we go. Love it. Go, Mom.
I got a little bit of a drop. I got to get back up into the money here in the race after this. I'm going to
Yeah, I dropped a little
drop
bit
a
as
bunch
well
this race.
because I dropped a little bit as well. Sorry, something happened. I dropped a little bit as well. I'm now below average, which is not good. Just gotta get back up to that average level. Just doing okay.
I'm in 30th, but I've only used 5 horses, so I'm feeling okay.
Still
Got 3
some,
wins through 5, so I'm feeling okay.
So if we're going by StableDuel, I will give you the horses that are most used as I go through real quick. The 1 is used by 99 stables. This is in the free game. And the 7's used by 75 stables. So the 1 is actually used by 34%, which is your highest total percentage-wise. Within the deep, number 5 being used by 29%. That's probably one of those cheap horses that people circled, right, as a race that you see wide open. So if I only need to spend $1,000 on a horse like in the deep, you can tell that that's where a lot of stables were thinking. Lab Rat only used by 2% of the stables.
Yeah, and by the way, just in full disclosure, I have nothing on in the deep like as a bet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a good like bet.
You didn't give him mints.
No, I didn't give him mints. No, is that guy. I just liked him as a stable duel for like second, third. Anyone who wanted to play like a Macross, like as a value, I see it totally. But you know what I'm saying? But exactly, that was just more of a stable duel pick rather than a wager pick, if that makes sense.
Very good. Well, we are coming up on post time here for race 5 at Assiniboia Downs.
I'll be back in 1 minute, guys.
Kurt has the 7. Let's bring up the stream there. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Kurt has on the 7-1-4 and Stretch is on the 1-7-3. So those of us backing Minoa agree with Kurt in Stretch, and those of us on Kate's Princess. So neither of them have Kate's Princess in their top
Interesting.
3. The betting public also has 1 Minoa as your 2-1 favorite, with 7 Del Vecchio close behind at 5-2. Kate's Princess at 4-1 is something pari-mutually I would be interested in grabbing and possibly keying over maybe an exacta and a try. I really felt confident in Kate's Princess, so to see the betting board a little bit different, I think opens up an opportunity for someone like myself who felt high on Kate's Princess. And just trying to pull up the exacta payouts here. 2 over the 1 is $15. I'm sorry, 2 over the 7 is $11. Even a 1-2 exact is paying 15-1 both ways. To me, that is certainly enticing from the way that I saw the race.
That's exactly what I did. I did a 1-2 exacta box, and then I played the 2 win and show. Just to, since I had a little bit of balance, I spent my last $4 on the winner earlier. Who was it? Valid Defense, or was it? No, Drizzy was the one who I ended up betting with my last $4. So now I've got a little bit of money to play with. So we'll,
see, and I will say, in in my thought process too, the best horse that does have the value is Kate's Princess. She's been favorite a lot of races, and now being 4-1, that's a little strange that horse is that high. But it's a tough race, so it should be fun. This should be a very
absolutely. Go ahead and turn it over here to our announcer, Kurt. Oh, to the funky waiting music. Surprise!
Now look,
I'm dancing with the Profits.
I noticed something too.
The current co-favorite at 2-1.
It's a pet peeve of mine every week. It's that live button that is not red. It's not like
Princess. Girl against the boys goes in.
I guess. I don't know.
Next up, Totalizer.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
And carved, set to go in. Next up in the deep. Just 2 left to load. Lab Rat. And just waiting on the slight favorite at 2-1. That's Del Vecchio to the outside. Totalizer a bit fractious in the gate. They're at the post. Small problem with Totalizer.
Yeah, 3 shocks off. Yep.
Everything's all good. They're at the post once again. And they're off. From the middle, hand carved. Sent hard to get the early lead. To the inside, Kate's Princess will match strides and go on by a half a length. And carved to second. My Noah on the rail in third with Del Vecchio. Right to the outside, 2 more lengths back. That's Lab Rat, a few more to Totalizer. And the trailer will be in the deep. The opening quarter, a sizzler. 22 seconds. And on the outside, hand carved, Kate's Princess. Now back to second. My Noah and Del Vecchio trying to eat up ground, but they have 3-4 lengths. They hit the head of the lane. Slight lead for hand carved. Kate's Princess. More to offer on the inside. Here comes My Noah, but hand carved still has some in the tank and carrying on for the win. The winner is hand carved, rallying for second. Totalizer, third in the deep, and fourth, My Noah.
I'm so glad I passed that race in StableDuel.
Wow.
Well, in the deep was making a big move there.
That might be the fastest halftime in Assiniboia Downs history.
Yeah, they were smoking on the front end. Unfortunately for Kate's Princess.
I'm surprised she lasted as long as she did. I thought she was going to back up to last.
Right, yeah. She did her best.
She
looks like
fifth.
She
got fifth. I give her credit. I thought she was going to be like 30 lengths behind.
Yeah, who had the 4 in here? Mitchell had 1, 2, 4, 7. Had the 4, 5 in StableDuel.
Tim loved the 4.
Oh yeah, Tim was the one who made the case for the 4.
Yeah,
with that work in between races.
Yeah.
So everybody, listen to Tim.
Seriously,
absolutely.
Tim's doing great tonight.
And as I said, that's an angle I just fallen into the trap too many times. I've seen a horse running on synthetic and not well in the dirt. That was why I tossed that 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that 4, 4 ran big there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To set that pace and just keep going.
That was really wild for that horse to keep going at Assiniboia, but wow.
Ran them off their feet.
Well, I guess there is something to that, though, because last year, around the same time at Woodbine, even though it was on turf, did go 22, 44, and 4. So,
horse has the speed.
Yeah,
Greg
Martin
said he
Drexler
looks
used
good
to
on the
train
track
him.
Yeah.
beforehand. So yeah, if you got that exacta or the try, looking pretty good.
Yeah. Seriously.
Hopefully our folks who were alive in the multi-race wagers had that horse, because that'll help your payouts a ton.
Yeah. Wow, the night's been awful for me.
We all have
Everything else
those.
is bad. Well, I mean, I am streaky. I do notice that I'm like last week. I had one good day out of a full week, and then 2 weeks ago I had one good day out of a full week, and then last week, just hitting everything. It's like, why can't this happen all the time, or at least some consistency? I'm like an Ira Stewart. Some days I do, some days I don't.
Fair.
I think that race will crush my dream StableDuel tonight. So
Yeah.
We're gonna need that. We're gonna need Tim with a StableDuel seminar and some autographs for Monday Night Lights.
Unbelievable.
Who does? Oh, Mitchell. Mitchell is still alive.
Wow.
In the pick 5.
Go get him, Mitchell.
Love
That's
it.
good.
Has 5, 7, 8 in the next, which I think that's covering your bases pretty well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the 3 in there for a StableDuel horse.
Yeah.
But the 5 was one of the horses that I was kind of keying in on later in the card that I thought looked like a pretty solid favorite. Although I can definitely, see the case for the 8 as well. Second time, Assiniboia coming back in just 5 days. An angle that Jerry Gorno wins at 31% with. So there's some nice ones.
Todd having a huge night tonight.
Everyone's having a good night tonight in the chat.
Love it.
We
love
to see
Love it.
Yeah.
We got
I got a
the
fun question coming up. I got a fun question I just thought of that I think would be kind of interesting to ask here. So
once we get the prices, we'll start
that's
that.
What I was saying before,
bring
after
that
prices.
up.
By the way, I just noticed if you bet the Tim pick of the 4 and Smurf on the Turf's 3 there, which paid 19.10, the exacta paid 77 for a buck.
Oh my gosh! Just start stalking the StableDuel picks and using that. You got a 12.40 winner, $7 to place. 19.10 to place, $8 to show on Totalizer, and then $4.60 to show on the 8. That exacta $77.90, a $591.50 try, and $1,829.45 for that superfecta. The pick 3, $253.35. Wow. Yeah. And Todd started with $10 tonight.
That's the best.
Up
Todd,
to
you deserve it. With
25 times that.
We
love
it,
that.
Man. All the work he does with those animals. God bless.
What was your conversation topic?
So how do people if you're at the track, how do you cheer? Because we're tame on here. How do you cheer for your horses while at the track? And just so nobody's embarrassed, I'll be 100%. I'm a program slapper aficionado. So I'm the person that you see doing that. So just curious, how does everybody cheer for their horses at the track?
I snap. I'm a snapper.
You're the snapper person.
I snap and I smooch.
Yeah.
Come on, horse. I do a lot of
when
this.
There's someone on the backside. You could tell that they're like a backside worker because they're doing the, So yeah, that's how you know some people actually work with horses. So yeah, that's funny. John?
Or if in extreme cases, I jump up and down. Like
that's fair too. I mean,
when Savoy Stomp broke his maiden on Super Saturday in I guess that would have been 2014. That horse was like the first horse that I ever fell in love with at auction. and was like, "This is a good horse." And I mean, he was a good horse. He was not the $875,000, that Team Valor paid for him to get a stakes placing at Delaware Park. But he was a good horse.
Yeah.
And I got to see him just like by coincidence. He debuted on Super Saturday, and I got to be there. And I have never, people probably thought I was insane. I was jumping up and down, screaming this horse home. Like, it was a lot.
No offense, Mitch. You're no fun. You're no fun. I mean, no offense, but
he's got the silent, like the Pletcher thing where the most emotion Todd ever showed was like with Rags to Riches won the Belmont. He's like,
that do this.
Yeah. Colin has watched the race with me. I'm not usually I'm vocal, but usually not that much. When Preservationist was coming down the stretch in the Woodward, you could have had me committed. Junior. I'm like, find that hole. And when he found the hole, I don't know how he did it and got through. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the whole way around, I think in the 2015 Belmont, I was just screaming "No way," because I was like, my thought was they aren't letting him walk. Yeah. Like, this horse can't lose if they let him walk on the lead, but he can't win either because it's the Triple Crown. Like,
yeah. And as soon as Frost had made his move, like, no. And I had that exact. I'm still like, no.
Get back there.
Exactly. Get back.
Well, and the worst thing about me being a program slapper is it's the worst whenever your hand, especially after you lose. When you win, it's okay. But when you get beaten like a close one and your hand is just all red, and like that's no fun.
All that work for nothing.
And you look like you need to be committed, like you said, Sean, because people are looking at you as you're beating yourself. Just like
makes a good noise though.
It does.
So
Greg's a wait till the stretch run type.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought that'd be a fun conversation little thing right there.
Yeah.
I love Tim.
Yeah. A Saudi Crown better or a Angel of Empire better?
Yeah.
If it's Angel of Empire, then at this point I think I'm falling out of love with Angel of Empire a little bit. I've never been like super high on him. I've always respected him. But every time he runs, I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't leave him off this time. And he keeps just kind of running a nice race. Like,
who's been more disappointing? That's a good segue. Who's been more disappointing, Angel of Empire or Tapit Trice?
Well, that depends on the expectations you had on them in the first place. In which case, I will say Angel of Empire.
Yeah.
Because I always just kind of thought Tapit Trice was going to be a horse who would have big races when he got the trip and would not if he didn't. So he was one that I've always kind of been.
And I said on this program last week, there was no way that race was a workout for Tapit Trice. He wasn't going to run Tapit Trice and Forte in the same race. At Monmouth, a big horse on those turns just had no chance of beating those horses. You know what I'm saying? Throw that out, chuck it out. He has an absolute chance in the Travers. You know what I'm saying? That track did not help him. The fractions, whatever, that race just did not set up for him at all.
No, for sure.
I think it's still
the issue with Tapit Trice is he's like a bike. And I mean, I remember there was two horses. I can't remember the first horse, but he's reminding me of the horse I can't remember, where you have to push him every step. And I don't see how big horses or a horse wins a big race being pushed and asked to do something every single stride of a mile and a quarter, mile and a half, or mile and an eighth. I don't see how a good horse wins those.
I mean, I think the thing is that he doesn't give everything for most of that, which is why he has to be asked. So I don't really, I think that's kind of one that I feel you, but also I don't think it's necessarily that's the issue. It's the fact that he just kind of does his own thing. He needs a trip. He's not agile. He's not a horse that,
So Greg
is
pointed
going to be
out
able
what
to.
I was kind of thinking is that he's stubborn and just hard-headed. Has to always be asked to do something. I don't like horses like that.
Yeah, I mean, he always comes. He always, runs his race,
Yeah.
but it's not as good, I feel like, as a lot of people thought early on in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't sleep on Angel of Empire yet, though. I think that's a little premature. I understand that. I understand he has gotten to the winner's circle, and I've been a huge Angel of Empire fan. It was one of my picks for the Derby, but a third in the Derby, a fourth in the Belmont, a third in the Jim Dandy. I mean, that's not awful. And I think you have some horses that are better, and you're going to run into those. But I wouldn't say I don't know that I can totally say like. Am I down on Angel of Empire? For sure. I wouldn't have played Angel of Empire in that race. I didn't think it was a great spot for him with only 5 horse field. But I still think there's something left from Angel that we haven't seen yet.
That's fair. Yeah, I feel like he's going to have a big breakout performance, but I'm getting to the point where I think that I will not be on him when he does.
Right. Yeah.
Just unless there's a race where, like, just looking at it, it ends up like, oh, this is the horse. I apologize for my brat here.
No worries. Yeah. His best race to me was when Luis Saez rode him at Fairgrounds. Like, absolutely perfect.
Mhm.
I might try. I know Flavian's done a very good job, and not a bad, but I'm saying, but if the chance does happen, and maybe Tabit Trice isn't available, what's Cox with Luis Saez is like their record together is like incredible. You know what I'm saying? I would go back to Louis and say, hey, let's see if you can get him back going like you did perfectly in Fairgrounds,
Yeah, he might be a horse where, just a jockey switch, someone who just gets something a little bit different out of him.
Yeah.
So it's that time of the night. We're hitting 10:41, and we got race 6 and 7, which for those that are new to the program, I like to put on my Maggie Wolfendale hat and try to based on looking at a TV, give a horse that I think you should fade based on me calling him the sleepy time pick. And we were 4 for 4 in fading some actual favorites the first 4 weeks, and then race week 5. And I have to go back and check because Shoddy was calling me out saying that it was Sugar Daddy Jack, but I thought it was All Terrain Jane that broke the sleepy time pick streak of fading a horse who had a victory. Then they came back and beat me again the next week. And so I think I see a 4 here who looks just like they don't want to be here for the few times I've looked at number 4. Now, 19-1, I don't like giving you horses to fade that are 19-1 because that's like giving favorites to win. You don't want to give 19-1 horses to lose. But at least looking early on in the paddock here, the 4, Miami Souvenirs, I believe, right? Yes. Which is a horse I couldn't stand anyways. Head down the 3 times I've seen gone around the paddock here, and just I question if they've shown up. I think they'd prefer to be in the sun of Miami than the winter up at Assiniboia Downs. Not going to make it official yet. We still got 10 minutes. We'll watch them get out on the track because that was why we failed in the first sleepy time pick, right? We said, well, maybe they're just calm, and they went out on the track, looked great, and then rolled. So we'll see. I'll keep you all posted as I keep my eye on the paddock.
Love it. Always here for the sleepy time pick because we've missed them the last 2 weeks without you. We have given up. We kind of decided we just can't do it without you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. We picked the scratch horse one week as the one for because he was sleeping in the barn. Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, you'll see the 4 again coming up right here on your right, and not really showing much interest to me. A little bit of a bob of the head there now, but just to me does not want to be here. We'll see.
Okay, we'll see how they look when we get the jockeys up.
Yep.
So who did we like? I don't know. We've talked.
Yeah, but I don't think we have.
So
yet.
I like the cutback. I like the connections for number 8, your favorite or your morning line favorite, Hasta La Vista Honey, coming back off the 1 to 5 day effort back on July 26th. We finished 7th in angle, though, that Jerry Gourneau is successful at. You have 3 horses dropping down from the allowance level. That is the 5, the number 5, the number 6, and then number 8. My top pick went to the number 5, Love Hours, dropping down from that allowance level race. Prior to that race, had some very respectable efforts in the maiden claiming race, and a little quirky stat that I like is a horse that wins twice at the maiden claiming level, not only winning the first time when it got DQ'd, winning by 6 lengths, but then comes back, steps up to the maiden claiming $10,000 level, and is able to bring back the same effort as that. So, of course, you're facing winners for the first time, which is a little bit of a concern. But like I said, the 4, I'll wait till she beats me. I did have a lot of interest in the 3. That ended up being my value pick. I think this horse just always gives you a consistent, honest effort. Has raced 17 times at Assiniboia Downs, has 3 wins, 3 seconds, 3 thirds, and is 2 for 5 at the 6 furlong distance. Last time ran at the 7.5 furlong distance, which I think was too long. A little bit too long for this horse, so what it really likes, even though it does have a win at the mile. So I was 5 with the 3. I think you could have to respect the 8. I was not high on the 7. I think the jockey trainer percentages there were just really low for me to be intrigued by a horse with speed figures that weren't more than flattering. So I am 5 with the 3, and maybe you mix in the 9 if you're looking to play. Oh, I'm sorry, the 8 if you're looking to play in something else besides the win to place. How about you, Sean?
Oh yeah, this race is interesting to me. And anyone, obviously, the 5, as you said, looks very live. But I had it backwards. I had the 3 on top as my pick, guaranteed delivery. I like the fact that Carl Anderson and Taranesco, who I'm getting more impressed by this kid. He's not getting like the rides always, but he very, very solid numbers so far, 5, 3, and 4, and 34. These two are 21% together. So the fact that he gets on this horse instead of Carreno, the thing I liked about this horse is that first time out, 3rd at 5 furlongs, 2nd at gaining a little bit, and then they tried him at 7 furlongs, hopped at the break, and I noted that last time when I had him, but he still ran evenly at 7.5, and I think the cut back to 6 will kind of be in the middle, and I think this will be the type of race where I think he could really come on and thrive, especially with this Taranesco Carl. I used him a couple of weeks ago when he came flying through that crowd to win, and I think he could do the same thing here. So I was 3, 5, and then 7.
Yeah, it looks like we're all pretty getting pretty close to in agreement here. You all covered it. I like the 5, 3, 8 in here. How about you, Dennis?
For me, I'm on the 1 to win in place. 20 to 1 morning line, now 15 to 1. And partially because speed has been holding up. Has to improve here. But I'm just hoping speed kind of, helps out a little bit. So I'm taking that, and I'm also going to do an exact box 1, 3, 5. So we're all kind of similar. I like that thought that we all kind of like the 3 and the 5. It's just who's the outlier of the rest of that whole group. But yeah, I like the odds of the 1 as well. I just think that the 1 could really step forward here, and has been loving the Assiniboia Downs as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the 1, you're getting the price. I feel like that you'd want to see on the horse. So good luck with that pick. Who does everybody like?
Yeah, let us know.
Tim's on 5 over the 3, 7.
Yeah.
Bobby B has 7, 8 with 3, 6. Tim, I think you're in the same boat with Colin, having burned money on Miami Souvenirs in the past, and choosing to step away this time as she comes in here against the boys. And I guess that's what the higher tag is. It must be if you choose to run a filly in an open race that you get a higher claiming tag.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see that again here with the $6,250 instead of the $5,000 tag, just like we saw a few races back.
Which paid off a few races back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, the 7. A lot of people liking the 7. And the 7 is just a horse I don't really see in here. I mean, does like the distance. I do see that. That makes sense. And I mean, I guess I sort of see it, but I need someone to make a really strong case for the 7 for me, because that's the one horse that a lot of people are talking about that I'm just not totally.
Your dog is making a case for the 7.
Riza,
Yes.
Riza likes the 7.
Yeah,
How
Riza
dare
likes
you
the
pick-
7 apparently.
How dare you pick against the 7? He's saying exactly.
Right.
I mean, I could make the case that prior to this year, very consistent as far as getting in a second or third place. You know, has raced 18 times and has 14 times hit the board. So that's certainly enough I think people would see to be respectable. Especially when you have horses here that are, you know, some of them are just coming out of the maiden claiming ranks for the first time. So they're going against winners for the first time. Now, I think it's funny that, and Tim just pointed this out, that Trusty likes the horse that hasn't actually won, whereas I like the horse that's actually won twice at the maiden claiming level. So
Right.
a little bit of opposite likes there. But I could certainly see that where you're concerned about horses that are actually facing horses that have won before.
Yeah. And if you like the 3, who came in 3rd last time at 7.5, the 7 was in 4th right behind him. You know what I'm saying? So and they're both cutting back. So if you do like 1, I suppose you can't totally throw out the 7, you know? She's right behind her, you know, so.
Horses that finish 4th last
sense.
out always do well. That's a little
The-
like one of those weird things you notice. I'm like, oh, of course, he finished 4th last time. He's going to win. And you'll all hear that now and we'll pay attention to it.
Right, yeah, and then confirmation bias will kick in, and suddenly it will be the new hot angle. Yeah, Tim pointing out also a couple of troubled trips on the 7, 4 wide last time out. When he got beat by a head, got bumped early. So, all right. I mean, it wasn't that I gave this horse no shot. I just feel like people were liking the horse more than I did.
Yeah.
At
the biggest thing I noticed with the 7 too is the horse is just super consistent. I mean, always runs the same race. But there's nothing flashy about the horse. There's nothing exciting to me. I mean, that's just me though.
Yeah, just that's I mean, you know what you're gonna get from the 7, which can be a good thing in a race like this. Even though, you know, as a 5-year-old, you're not really going to see a whole lot of improvement, which could be, I mean, you don't have the improving speed figures that you'd want to see, like with your 1 Dennis, but that is a 3-year-old who's lightly raced, which kind of could be a point in that one's favor if you wanted to try and make a case there. But yeah, overall, I mean, I feel like the 5 looks very tough in here. I've got 5-3 in StableDuel, which I need things to go well to catch up after the last couple of races.
I'm kind of getting what I wanted here with the 3 at 9-2. I think some people are looking at Carreno's off the 3, therefore he must not be. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. But to look at the jockey, he's actually 21% with the trainer. You know what I'm saying? So like, so some people will just look at that and say, "Oh, wrong." You know what I'm saying? So I thought he might float up a little bit because of that. You know, so I think his price is pretty good at 4-1.
Yeah, no, I liked that 3, and I'm with you, Tim. That's kind of how I feel about the horse. I don't think he's a win contender, but absolutely 2nd, 3rd, 4th. He should run well. A horse that would make some sense in StableDuel, but just at a lower price than the 3 didn't make sense to me when you could have the 3 at 12-1 for your stable duel horse.
I agree,
in here.
Greg. He does look good. Yeah, no doubt. He's been on his toes. I've been watching him. The 3's really been warming up very nicely.
Awesome. Let's hope I could go 3-5 or 5-3. That would be
Absolutely, yeah.
that would be helpful for me. Everybody else, let us know what you've got in here. Oh, we got Smurf of the Turf is sitting in first after that last race.
Wow.
Go, Mom.
Nice.
Go, Mom! Yeah.
Get her on
Is
here,
she in the
Sean.
running? Is she in the running for the beat the Trust the Profits crew on StableDuel?
Get her in here, Sean. Call her up.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Right.
we need help tonight.
Cause she's got her finger on the pulse here of Assiniboia Downs and what's going on there.
Sean called in a ringer tonight.
Right? Yeah, he should have. And then Tim's still sitting in third in the free contest as well.
Just stalking. He's just stalking.
Got a few familiar names sitting near the top in the free game. Henry Dembski, who tunes into content sometimes, a fellow pedigree nerd, is sitting sixth. What else we got here? Sean just ahead of me in 32nd while I sit in 39th after skipping the last race.
Right there, kid. Right. Yep.
But still got 4 horses to go. So with 2 races. So we'll
I need an exacta here. That's what I need.
Yeah, you and me both.
I need that 100-point banger.
Looks like Sean and I are on the same horse in the last race.
Yeah.
I thought that horse made a lot of sense. But I also have a big long shot in the last race that could just be not great for me. But we'll see. I thought the horse made sense. So we'll see if I was right. But before that, we will see if we were right about race 6.
Yeah.
Turn it over here.
It's Rojo, the first to settle into the starting gate. Mosey's on Main goes right in. Next up, Guaranteed Delivery. Miami Souvenirs, she's in. Love Ours, the current 2-1 favorite, steps up. And in. It's now Sunspot's turn. Just 2 left to load. Henry's in control. Now just waiting on Hasta La Vista, honey, to the outside. The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off. From the inside, Wits Rojo shows good early speed and easily clears to a 2-length advantage. Hasta La Vista, honey. Back in second. Third is Sunspot. Hugging the rail, Guaranteed Delivery to the outside. Henry's in control with Love Ours. Moses on Main. And the trailer, Miami Souvenirs. The opening quarter, 23 seconds. And Wits Rojo about to get company from Hasta La Vista, honey, to the outside. Fading back to third, that's Sunspot. Moving up, Henry is in control. And on the inside, Guaranteed Delivery. The rail is open for Moses on Main. They hit the head of the lane. Hasta La Vista,
Come on, one.
with the lead
Right back, one.
Fighting
back,
back,
boy.
Wits
Fight
Rojo.
back.
It's these
Come on,
two,
boy.
5 legs out of everything. A 16th of
Nice.
Get up,
Hustle
boy.
and feast
Get
to
up,
honey.
boy.
Nice.
Get up, boy.
Rojo battles back and gets the win.
Good
Hustle
job,
and feast to
Dennis.
honey,
Good call,
second best.
Dennis.
Third's going to go to guaranteed delivery. Close for 4th.
And dang, that was a game
at
way
you.
for a horse to get their first lifetime win versus winners.
Great job, Dennis.
Good
25
pick
to
there.
1.
Yeah,
Look at you, the horse that hasn't won.
right. That was.
That's usually a Colin angle.
And did it gamely.
Did you bet it, Trusty?
Oh yeah, just 2 and 2, but still, that's good
That's
enough.
still
That'll pay
awesome.
for 25
That's
to 1.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely did better than my 3rd and 4th. That wasn't the
Yeah. Well, that's
the
not
one
bad,
finish I
though.
was looking for though. I need to
Well,
move up from
it- it-
39th though, and that
it
might not
gets the
help. The
money
only thing
back.
that might help is that hopefully not too many people have this one in
Yeah.
StableDuel.
I can check that out, man. Wow.
I told you
Yeah,
I
that-
had one. I told you I had one price in there tonight. Just one.
That's all you need. That's
That's
all you need.
Dennis.
125 to 1
Yeah.
shot on the night. You got it.
Yeah, 5% had what do you call it? Had the one, Dennis. So that is great.
Great pick there. Looks like might be closer for 4th than I thought.
Dennis, why did you like that horse again? This early speed?
Speed,
Yeah.
and Speed's been holding up really nicely tonight. So I guess I kind of got lucky. The fact that that's just lovely to see the 3 and the 5 there. If one of those two could have got up, that would have been as active. But oh well, that's okay. That's okay.
Of course.
Boy, the 8 got bet down late.
Yeah.
Can't be too greedy now, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got the 25 to 1 winner. But yeah, I mean, I just wished those speed figures, if those speed figures had been like low 60s instead of mid 50s, I would have kind of been with you on the horse, but I just thought the horse was too slow. Good pick. Because I mean, in hindsight, is the 3-year-old with room for improvement. But yeah, great pick there.
Now, wait a minute. If you're Jessica's got to be thrilled here because Wits Rojo just won. So if Wits 9 can run the way that Wits Rojo just ran, the Wit daily double.
We can that would give me a chance. With only 7% having Wit 9.
Yes, exactly. See
there. So the other side of that though was that the Wit win of the night?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the scary question there with that one. But we shall see.
Well, at least that makes the streak kind of continue on. That I'm still getting out prices.
Exactly.
The
trusty bombs.
Now, where's El Hombre? Wake him up out of his hospital bed. Take him off life support. I want a 25 to 1 shot. Damn, no.
Dennis gave out a 25 to 1 shot on the stream.
Amazing.
Finally.
Well done.
Love it.
Well done.
Should just become LSD.
Yeah.
Long shot Dennis.
Long shot, Dennis.
I like that. Get a new logo made by the guy up at Assiniboia Downs.
Right.
Just
Have
a
some
pill.
fun design choices.
I'm using that on Thursday. When El Hombre comes back, let me know. I'm using that. It'll be a surprise.
There we go.
Dennis has more long shot wins on Trust the Profits than all his jockey friends at Turfway combined do.
Yes.
Let's see what those prices were. Woo! 53.50, 15.80, 7.90. So even that win show bet will
wow! Look
right
at
there.
that! Look at that,
420
Dennis.
place on Hasta La Vista Honey,
Nice.
280 to show, 260 to show on guaranteed delivery. That exacta 131.40, 532.15 for the try, $2,792.70 for the superfecta,
God bless.
478 and change for
Woo.
the pick 3. Yeah, that was my first thought. Actually, now was I wonder if Mitchell is.
Oh, Mitch, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
we needed the Dennis picks beforehand.
wow.
Now, this is an interesting thing. Do we think they moved the starting gate a little bit to the right? Because all of a sudden, one horses are now breaking straight out of the gate. They're not having problems anymore. Do you think they moved the gate a little bit towards the middle of the track to help the ones get off that rail? You know?
No,
Yeah, I'd be curious to go back and look.
Look, it is. It's a little bit more out. See the inside stall? They're not using it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed there's been a couple where they haven't been using the inside stall, sometimes the inside two stalls. So I want to go back now and look at
was having all the problems.
And that, and basically
I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the year and find one.
Yeah, go check, because I'm curious now. Like, is that what they were doing
but,
before? Have they changed it, or?
But besides that point, though, it's like, I know Assiniboia doesn't have like full fields all the time. It's like, why would they need to pin the one directly onto the rail? It's, I hope that they didn't change anything and we're just making this up in our heads. But this is, it's true. There's the one horses have been breaking out really good tonight.
Could be the end of the curse. It's no longer haunted. The one post has been exercised at Assiniboia Downs. You can bet the one again. Yep. Still, despite the 25-1 shot, no jackpot payout.
No.
The jackpots are to play on the mandatory day, and to watch the pool grow the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But we are moving down now to the last race of the night.
Yes.
Which looks like a kind of tough one to me.
This was a head scratcher.
Especially with the scratch of the 7.
Here's July 3rd. So to me, July 3rd, they still had the one hole open up.
Okay. I feel like I've seen it before the last couple of weeks, but I'm not sure if like before I was following along.
Colin, I mean, July 3rd is the beginning of the year, so
I can go back to June.
I can go back to June.
I mean, they only start racing
June
in May, so I think.
No, I just like how he said it's going to be the beginning of the year, and then
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, it's about that time. I think might be time to go to bed soon, right?
No, look at that.
Leave on
25-1, and he's done, huh? Oh, sleepy time pick?
Yay!
I should have made it before.
Well, we gotta wait for them to start showing the pattern.
Yeah.
But what are we thinking in this race on paper? Especially, I feel like the scratch of the morning line favorite, the 7, really opened this up to some different possibilities in here.
Jessica is getting the people to just pour their money in. 9-2 on Wit 9 off a 25-1 morning.
No way. That horse, I really don't like him all that much. Like, I like him at like 10-1.
The people are listening. They are listening. Exactly.
I don't know that there's enough speed in this race for him or for her. That's the question there with that horse is just needs to get back to last year's form and needs to have speed in the race. And I'm not sure that she really has a whole lot of it in here. And that's why I like the 5 on top. White Rose Spirit horse coming in from the $5,000 level, has the highest last out Brisnet figure, has put back-to-back 66, 67. So I feel like you can kind of count on her to run a similar race again. I mean, finished 4th against, and I mean, that last race was against the boys in an open 5,000 non-winners of 3, and now gets in here against fillies and mares again. So I thought that horse made a lot of sense. But I thought the 4 was a decent, stable dual horse at 25-1.
Yeah.
Could, get third or fourth in here. But 4-1, 5-1, that seems a little short for me. What were you all thinking in here, Sean?
Well, originally I liked the 3 and the 5, but my mom likes the 8, so I guess it's just been no. What do you call it? No, I liked the 5. I was with you. White Horse Spirit was my first horse. Then for you, and you touched on it absolutely beautifully. Why I thought figure wise, I thought in this group of question marks, I thought the one that it could be the most dependable, and be right there at the end.
Exactly.
Kind of like we like Drizzly earlier, like the same thing. I like Drizzly because it was the most dependable horse that you could, consistent, and that's the horse. And then for my long shot pick, I'm back with Antonio here in Gorno. Saturday Service. I like that. The 2 races ago, I think that I'll just throw a X around that last race. I don't know what happened there, but I think it could come right back into form tonight. If it runs that race 2 back, then I think they'll be right there. So I'm 5, 3, and 8.
Yeah, I think the distance helps the 3 a lot in here. 6 for 10 in the money at the distance, and that that race you're looking at, you're pointing out the 7.5 furlongs now gets back out to a mile.
Yep.
So yeah, I like that. There. How about you, Dennis?
I think the money's showing up on the right horse. I think the 5 White Rose Spirit might have the speed to clear. I'd like to stretch out, so maybe could even get over easier. And maybe just holds up, and coming back into females tonight might help as well. So I think I'm not even going to bet a win bet on the horse. I'm just going to box a 5, 8, because I think the 8th is pretty interesting as a closer, and just use Whitehall in there just in case. So 3, 5, 8.
And Colin, have you found anyone sleepy, and what did you think about them on paper?
We're still intently looking to see who's drowsy. I think the 2, 4, and 6, your even numbers are the early clubhouse. Might need a pillow horses right now, but we got time. On paper, I was the same as Sean. I thought the 5's last 2 efforts were strong. I always like the owner trainer. Shelly Brown, nice Dennis. Angle.
I'm saying this through the whole paddock, so there you go.
This 3 was the one I was talking about where Jerry Gourneau comes back after only 1 to 5 days, but I'm actually going to use a little bit of Tim's thought process here as well, because he said that a lot of horses here don't work in between races. Well, this 3 Saturday Service worked July 20th, 4 furlongs. So where's our boy Tim at? Does this angle apply in this situation? And then obviously the 6 for 10 in the money at the distance, dropping from the claiming 62.50. I thought the 3 was very intriguing. And then the 8 was another one who, I'll be honest, you're out of money and you're looking for a horse. The 8 was the one that was the last in on my stable. Had the distance. Had the distance success, so 8 ended up being my last horse in. So I am 5 over the 3-8.
Love it. Yeah, and another I started I looked at for a little bit was the 2. Just getting back to that mile was a little bit interesting, but the 3, I just realized that also another one who is coming back in against her own sex after running in open company last time out for that 62.50 tag. So kind of a similar angle there with the 5, where they're now getting their condition race against fillies and mares instead of having to face the boys. Although it is notable, I guess, that the 5, the trade-off for the 5 is having to go up a condition. This is non-winners of 4, and she's eligible for non-winners of 3, but that's definitely just, them playing the condition book and seeing when the races come up. And that's the fun thing about these horses at Assiniboia is they run. They run their horses at Assiniboia. We'll take a look here. See who's staying sleepy.
2 looked good on the toes. 3 in the stall was looking a little lackadaisical, but comes out rider aboard looking ready to go. I think I'm gonna have a tough time here because 4 looks professional, nodding his head, ears are perked. 5, 5. I don't know. Whoops, 6 is head down. 6 has kind of been on my radar as the one that's the leader. I'm going to go with the 6. We're going to go with Mucho Express. It's 30-1 morning line, unfortunately, but that's where we're going with our sleep. And after 25-1 shot wins, I don't feel bad telling you that the 6 at 11-1 is going to be a little sleepy. So
Yeah.
the 6 is where you should all go run to the windows based on my previous couple of weeks of sleepy time. But the 6 is our sleepy time pick for July 31st.
Love it.
Love
Mucho
it.
Express. We're back with the sleepy time picks. Love to see it.
What I miss?
Wake up. Give us another one
Mucho
shot.
Express
Give us
is
a 25-1 shot.
Is that all you people want from me? No.
Yes.
Uh,
What do we got here in the chat? Tim likes the 3-5 box.
Come on, Tim. I like that.
2-4-8 underneath. Yeah, that I like that.
I like the 3-5. Yeah.
yeah,
Like I
love,
said, I
that's the best thing about being a tout person is, you have a great day yesterday, and then, maybe an off day the day after that, and people are like, you suck. It's like, I can't do this all the time. Come on.
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Unforgiving.
Uh,
I mean, that's horse racing in general. That's life in general.
Riders up, second place in the $20 game. Just having an unbelievable night.
Go, Tim.
El Hombre's in 5th, so he's fighting for that Manitoba Derby spot.
From the bed.
He's got the 3 Saturday service as his last horse.
He's still got the program and the hand whipping and the machines go off.
Yeah. Nurses are saying, "Can you
Sir,
stop,
your heart
please?"
rate is up.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
The leader
From the
in the leader in the $20 game has Wit 9 as their last horse.
Oh, see?
Okay.
Yes,
Maybe I'm not in terrible company.
Tim also has Saturday service.
I also have Whit 9 as my last horse in StableDuel, but I can't win, so I don't like that horse, I guess, really on paper. I just took it.
Oh, Jess, now you got an even better chance now.
Yeah.
Dennis doesn't like it. Now your horse just moved up at least 4 lengths.
Yeah, as long as I don't lose.
He got his 25-1 out of the way. He's like
Yeah,
I'm good
That's
for the
it.
night. He's like, boom. Exactly.
Can't do any more.
Long
Can't
shot,
ask
Dennis
more
came
of you.
through again. Exactly.
Joe is Wolf 29 in stable.
7th place.
Sitting
He's
in
got 3
7th,
horses.
Yeah.
Hey,
3 to
Jess,
5
what
Indy.
position overall are you in? Unstable.
17th right now.
No. On the annual leaderboard, because I'm trying to follow you, but it won't let
I'm nowhere near.
I'm
sure I am very far down.
I'm trying to follow you, but it won't let me.
2,398th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna find me. I don't play enough.
Okay.
I
trying.
I do the free games and sometimes on the big days.
Okay.
And I
John's
only
reaction is
started
priceless.
playing it weekly. But the Preakness was my first stable duel game, so
Gotcha.
I'm still a newbie.
I love
in
it.
the
Though.
game.
That's great. Yep.
We're hopefully going to knock on wood be closer than I have yet at Assiniboia. My I think my best finish so far is like 38th.
Yeah.
So I haven't been doing great at Assiniboia. in these free contests. So hopefully that changes here tonight.
Well,
even if I
and
don't cash.
To be honest, it's so scary for. I don't think I'm that good in StableDuel. I've said that before many times, multiple occasions. But when I got to face Matthew and El Hombre and Sean and Keith, and I'm just like, why bother? I can't beat them. I know better. I mean, but look, StableDuel
But
is
you
very
have the
good.
bombs. You have the bombs. That can help big time,
Oh, yeah. That's like even tonight I did take the one there, and I'm still down to nothing. But I know some people are really good at that too. Not just you guys as well, and everybody knows who they are. But man, it's amazing how well the Trust the Profits crew does at StableDuel. It
Not
really
me.
is.
Don't include me in that. I've been terrible at this game.
Colin, don't worry, I didn't include you. I said Matthew and Sean.
I was solid and good last year between Gulfstream and Keeneland, and this year I just can't put it together.
I cashed in the first 2 StableDuel games I played, and I think I just ran out of luck after that.
Yeah.
I got cocky with the beginner's luck.
The only time I was like, I won't say truly excited. I'll take that back. The only time I thought I really had a up on the competition was when they did the steeplechase, because I love the steeplechase stuff. So, and I finished 6th and got like 100 and something off of that, and that was yeah. So, I hope they bring the steeplechase stuff back, though. I know they had some of it earlier on in the year and everything, but yeah.
I've never deposited because I got up quite a bit on a few wins I had early, but that money is almost gone. So
yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like just picking and choosing. I finished 3rd in the Preakness free ride, and then cashed like a lower placing in like a Woodbine $5 thing. So like I withdrew my original deposit, and I just have my little bit sitting there waiting for the $5 and $10 games every now and then on cards that I feel confident about. Once I cash in an Assiniboia, I might be willing to pay to play, but I need to at least feel like I'm figuring the track out, which the more I cover it, you start to get a feel for it, definitely.
All right, we got to ask, we got 37 viewers in the chat. I want everyone to type in who they want to get an Ice Cold Classic High Five from. So we've got Jessica, myself, Sean, or Dennis. Everyone type in real quick, one of us, and we'll do a quick poll, and one of us will give an Ice Cold Classic High Five because they have a Classic High Five growing pool over $3,100. So which one of us tonight would you like to get that from? But you got to be quick because they're going to the post. So not Dennis. Dennis wrote that.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim says Sean. Basil says Dennis. Joe says Sean. So we got 2 Seans and 2 Dennises. All right. 2 to 2.
2 of those Dennises are from the same person.
Oh, you're right. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. 2 to 1, 3 to 1 for Sean.
I guess
all right,
Sean.
Sean. I think Sean, you're gonna be put on the spot. We'll wait for one more vote up. 3-2, Dennis. 3 Sean, 2 Dennis. Any more votes? Quick. All right, Sean. You're gonna be on the spot for the Ice Cold Classic High Five. So you got to pick 1 through 5.
Yep.
Ice Cold. You ready?
Yep. 5,
Go.
3, 8, 1, 2.
5, 3, 8, 1, 2. There you go. So that is your Ice Cold.
Hold on, I'm going to switch one. I'm going to put Jess's 4 in there. 5, 3, 8, 1, 4.
Thank you.
5,
Thank
3,
you.
8,
Yes.
1, 4.
Yeah.
And for those that wanted mine, I guess 5, 8, 3, 1, 4.
Alrighty. We've got that 5-3. Seems like the popular opinion here. And we'll go ahead and turn it over for the last race of the evening.
White Rose Spirit, the current 2 to 1 choice, is in. 2 left to load. Mucho Express. And just waiting on Streamer to the outside. The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off. From the inside, Zapora. Showing some good early speed with White Rose Spirit. With the same intentions, passing the grandstand for the first time. It's Zapora and White Rose Spirit battling it out. Say It All, stalking those leaders and moving to the outside in third. Hugging the rail, that Saturday service in fourth. With nine in between horses. Streamer to the outside and well back. Mucho Express, who's about a dozen off the early lead. The opening quarter rather quick. 23-3. And Zapora with the lead by a neck. White Rose Spirit equal to the challenge. On the outside in second, 3 lengths back. Say It All moving up. Saturday service in fourth. Back in fifth, Wit 9. Another 2 to our trailers that are going to be Streamer and Mucho Express. 48-2 the half mile, and now White Rose Spirit has taken over. Saturday service coming with a big run as they hit the head of the lane. 3/4, 1:14-1. White Rose Spirit up by about a length and a half. Saturday service gaining with every stride. A 16th of a mile to go. White Rose Spirit. Saturday service trying to tag the line and does it. Saturday service is going to take it. White Rose Spirit in second. Third is going to go to Wit 9. Fourth to Streamer. Close for
I
fifth.
almost had the ice cold pick 5.
You had all the horses.
I had all 5.
Just not ice cold.
No.
Wait, who finished 5th?
The one I think it was 3, 5, 4, 8, 1. Oh
Wait,
no!
Stewart's have requested a photograph.
What?
Oh no,
Determine the winning
I thought
horse.
it was the 4.
I thought it was the 4 too. It's in yellow.
That is
Those numbers
purple.
are incorrect, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a photo for win.
Yeah, this is very cool.
Opening
Wait a
quarter,
minute.
48-2.
Yeah.
Half 48-1. 3/4, 1:14-1. 7 furlongs, 1:28-2.
The 5 did not beat the 3.
Time for the mile, 1:42
Yeah, this is all wrong. Someone is
These
The
are
new
the
sleepy
stewards
time,
from New
the
York.
new sleepy time
These are the
pick of the
stewards from New
draft
York.
stuff,
They had
man.
5
yeah,
jerseys.
the placing judges are the sleepy time pick. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
there we go. Okay.
Wow.
There it is.
A little
Actually,
worrisome there for a second.
hold on.
Results
So,
on the photo show the winner, number
Me
3.
and Sean both came out
Saturday
with the same
service.
numbers for the-
Second goes to number 5,
Thing.
White Rose
We
Spirit.
could have both
Sorry.
had that just boxing it.
Yep.
That was pretty good handicapping there.
that
I mean,
was.
chalky, but still.
Yeah, definitely.
Jess is 4. Jess moved the needle on that 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 9 to 2.
The wits came
not
to
what
play
I was
tonight.
not the kind of price I was expecting, but still got me a little bit of points for StableDuel. I'm not sure it will be enough to get me into a placing though without the 5 getting up
Yeah.
for that win. I thought I had it for a minute. For a minute I thought the 5 was going to win kind of easily.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks,
But
Todd. Yeah.
yeah, Sean was right on it there. If you boxed his super high 5 or
I mean,
just
let's-
played it, box the top 2 and then box the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Let's be honest though, that was the best sleepy time pick so far ever.
That was by
Yeah,
far.
that,
it was
that horse
awesome.
was sleepy.
That
Yes.
horse is. I don't even think he's
Didn't
crossed
run
the
a
finish
step.
line yet.
No, he was in the photo for 5th. He almost beat us out of the super high 5
Hey.
box.
I was able to follow Hawkstone Stables. Just saying.
Congratulations, well
No,
done.
you found it. You found it.
I'm glad you glad you found me.
Yeah, Tim helped. You're in 518, but you'll be moving up after this.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll take that. That's better than 2,000 something, like
Yeah,
I thought.
yeah.
I'll take that little $17 exacta too. That was pretty good.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the exacta.
Yeah, that exacta
That was my stable duel
paying
exacta.
$17 is quite impressive. I don't know if they're going to show us the other graphic or not, but $61.75 for the try.
Oh, they're going old school.
I've lost them. Yeah, they're going. Here's.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. 1765 exacta, 61.75 for the try, 171.90 for the superfecta. Winner paid $7, $3.90, $3.10. White Rose Spirit, $5.40, $3.50 to show, and Wit 9, $3.70 to show. That $3.50 to show on the 5 is kind of juicy. That dollar super, $171.90, double $116. The dollar pick 3, $9.29.30, $2,061 and change for the pick 4, and $2,663.50 if you had that 20-cent pick 5. So quite a solid night. We had a good mixture, I feel like, of logical races and then races that not everybody thought were logical, but basically every race on the card here, somebody had the winner, I think. So
and thank you, Raphael, for joining us, my friend. Great to have you.
Yes, thank you so much.
We'll be back on Thursday, everybody, for sure.
Great job, Dan.
And if you're up at Saratoga this weekend, we will all be there.
Jess. Look forward to seeing you. My
yes,
travels up.
Very exciting. Thank you. I can't wait. It's been 5 years since I've been to Saratoga. So
I'll see you Saturday at the spa.
Exactly. Danny,
I plan on making
you keep
a trip
making Kentucky proud.
Yeah. Take that 25-1 winner money and get the bus.
Yeah. Me too. Maybe next year.
You can sleep in my free
meet Malathot at the airport there, Denny.
Yeah.
I'll be attached to the cargo. I'll be hanging onto the plane, just barely hanging onto the wheel as it goes up.
I think I've made my way, by the way, into those are my top 2 in the stable duel. So I think I'm going to move up at least into the cashing part.
That'll be nice. Yeah, best of luck. Hopefully, as many folks as possible in the chat made some money tonight.
Yeah.
In stable duel. And we'll be back Thursday night with Woodbine and Delmar.
Yeah, Woodbine. Yeah, Woodbine definitely. Yeah, we may get some of the after Woodbine's done, maybe getting a couple of Delmar races as well. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Check out the pedigree puzzle that Jessica spent all day on.
Yes. Check that out. That'll drop tomorrow morning. I literally spent all day on it.
And when does the blog come out? When does the blog come out?
Every Monday. So
that's
today.
What I'm saying. So
hawkstonebloodstock.substack.com. You can go to.
That's why I had to bring that up. Because
thank you.
Yeah.
Drop that every Monday. Every other Monday is a free post, and then every other corresponding Monday is a post for paid subscribers where I do things like auction picks and stuff, which so far this year, I have 4 starters with 3 winners and a 3rd place finisher, including there's a stakes winner off of my blog picks. So that's been pretty fun.
Love it.
It turns out it had more value than I thought. So good night, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.